All right, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you all had an excellent holiday season. Looking forward to the new year. And today, guys, we're going to be having a 2v2 tournament. So we have 4 teams today. The first match is going to be a showdown between Team Taco Lizard and the Extreme Meme team. So definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. We are switching up the format a little bit as it pertains to regular 2v2s. So normally when you play a 2 versus 2, each player is going to have their full funds. So when you go into a 2v2 lobby, each player has 12,400 in accordance with what you have in ladder. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different to see how various factions can really complement one another. So what we're going to be doing is each faction is going to be getting 12,400 gold in total. So essentially the total sum of one regular army on ladder. So maybe you could have the Bretonnian do the cav, Skaven do the infantry, etc., or vice versa. It's going to change the format a little bit. So welcome, guys. I'm going to just double check something real quick. Make sure the thumbnail, for some reason I updated the thumbnail, but I don't know if it's saved. So it might still be showing the Christmas Santa Claus one. And yeah, we definitely want to make sure it's the correct one here. So one moment. Yeah, this is a tournament. A tournament. No, it's going to be a tournament today. So 2v2, the initial rounds are going to be best of 3s, and the finals are going to be a best of 5. So hopefully we don't have any issues with lag or anything. I'm feeling pretty confident. I think it should be a-okay. So let's go ahead and do this real quick, and that should update the thumbnail to be the correct one. Thumbnail updated. Audience will see it in a moment. And according to that, and I think we're good to go. So yes, the first match is going to be a showdown between the Skaven and Bretonnians versus Norska and Bretonnia. So just wait, guys. There's going to be some Vampire Coast mixed with other undead factions. Things are going to get real nasty today. I actually think that's going to be one of the hardest ones to beat. It's going to be the Vampire Coast, mixed with like Vampire Counts or Vampire Coast and like Tomb Kings with like Invocations of Nehek. I think things are going to get pretty nasty for sure. Is this a Christmas channel? I don't know. Yeah. So welcome, guys. Hopefully you're here to have some fun. Let's go ahead and let the players know. Start whenever ready. No rush. So yeah, you guys can probably see on the right-hand side, we have custom funds. It's going to be 6,200, which is half of a normal army. So each player has basically a pretty limited spend, which is, I'm really eager to see how they decide to do this. I think it adds a little bit of a spin on the normal 2v2 format, which, typically just 2 separate armies kind of blobbing into one another. And this should help with the issues of lag and also give you guys the perspective of 4 players. So I think that should be pretty good. The number of teams, so there's 4 teams in total today. We have we have quite a run here. So we have the team Taco Lizard, which is going to be Gojira and Flying Taco. We have team Article 13, which is going to be Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War. They're going to be coming up next. We have the Extreme Meme team, which is Black Phillip here and Pipes. Professor Pipes, of course, streams over on Twitch. Exploding Hamster has a very fine YouTube channel on top of that, as well as Zardar Total War. We'll make sure to link to all their channels and everything. And then the last team is going to be Romulan Dov, which is going to be Dov Plays and Romulan Dog playing in the last game there. So it doesn't say Christmas anymore, does it? Oh my god, I hope it doesn't. I mean, I don't really care. It doesn't matter, but yeah, the players are just kind of picking out their armies now, letting some of you guys gather. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm kind of eager to see. They don't have much to work with. Like a fully kitted out King Lewin, for example, costs about like 2,500 gold, which is like 1/3, give or take, right? A little bit less or more than your total expenditure. So it's really going to kind of change the dynamic of things a little bit. And there's no pick rules really to kind of, because in 2v2, if we had army limit rules like that we do for like the King's Cup rules and things like that, it's going to be a little bit tricky because obviously some players might want to go all cav to supplement their opponent who's playing, or supplement their ally who's playing infantry. So it really does kind of put a spin on that. So we're not going to be using those type of things. You guys want to see? Yeah, if I were playing this, I would probably want to go like dwarves with Empire and just have the dwarves do only infantry and like 6 thunders and like just heavy metal ironbreakers and dwarf warriors, and then have the Empire just go like mass demograph knights and like protect the flanks. I think that could be really cool to see. No, I'm not playing today. Today I'm going to be casting the tournament. We actually had a last minute drop there, so I almost played, but just had to make sure we were all squared away here. So it is go time. Yes, yes. We have Skaven in the first game, so there's going to be 2 Bretonnians. Hopefully they have different lords at least, so it's a little bit easier to kind of see what's going on. I think maybe we're going to see a Fey Enchantress. I'm thinking it. I think we're probably going to see a King Louis as well. Let's go ahead and turn off the screen blocker. Hopefully the load times aren't too long once we get in here. And because that's always the thing. I love hosting 2v2 tournaments, but the biggest issue is oftentimes the lag and all that, so it can be a little bit tricky. But we'll see if we load in. Hopefully it'll take like a minute or 2 here. Yeah, people have told me I look like Doctor Strange from Marvel. Yeah, occasionally. I don't really see it, but My dog Wookiee's going ballistic out there. There must be someone nearby. Must be an intruder. Wookiee will be back, don't worry. He's actually in the living room right now. He's so angry. You're barking. Mega Wookiee isn't still up. I know there's a little bit of a delay on chat, so sometimes that'll happen, but it is what it is. You know, we actually went and saw the Aquaman last night. Anna and I went and saw that. It wasn't terrible. Compared to, like, most of the DC movies are pretty god-awful, but this one really wasn't that bad. I believe Invocation of Nehek, it does not work on units that aren't undead, but Invocation of Nehek does work if memory serves. I don't know if they nerfed it, but it used to work on constructs. So when we had our first 2v2 tournaments back when the Tomb Kings first came out, people were using Tomb Kings and Vampire counts and having a massive Death Star with a Mortis engine and spamming Invocation of Nehek to, like, heal Necrosphinxes, and it was just, like, the most OP thing ever. It was horrible. So yeah. There shouldn't be any reason for that, Faust. You should be able to. Let me see, I'll click it here. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, wow, this... I just realized the stream was unlisted. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. I was wondering... I don't know why. I never unlist my stream, so... but yeah, we're here with the first match. Hopefully now that it's a public stream, people can actually join. But yeah, you should be able to super chat and everything now that it's public. So, yeah, I don't know why. It's giving me all this drama here. Must be something that's up going on with YouTube. Yeah. All right, there we go. So here we are with game one between the team flying lizard or lizard taco. I got to get these down in the extreme meme team. So we're gonna have a showdown between Bretonnia and Norska in the Skaven and the Bretonians. A very unusual alliance between the Foul Ratmen and the noble heroes of Bretonnia. But we're gonna see how this pans out. Should be quite a bit of fun. This is the very first game of the day. And yeah, I accidentally had the stream as unlisted, so I was wondering why it wasn't, like, showing up. I, like, couldn't see it on YouTube and stuff, and yeah. Yeah, very strange stuff. But anyways, it should be open now. Hopefully people can join, and there won't be any more obstructions or, funny business like that. 1 second here. Great. Yeah, it looks good to me now. All right. So for the forces of the extreme meme team, it looks like they're going to have a Frostworm. So that's going to be the big investment from Norska here. On top of that, we do have Wulfric the Wanderer. And does he have a caster? I mean, that's something else to consider, right? The caster plus a hero is going to take up a massive portion of your army. So you're really going to have to kind of, think about the spells and maybe just pick one or two instead of going very wide in that respect. On top of that, we have Wulfric the Wanderer here. And 1 second here. I think I hear... No, this is just a 2v2 league. I hear Wookiee barking. Hang on 1 second, guys. Yeah, it should be good now. Sorry, I heard some barking and I wasn't sure what was going on, so Anna's gonna go check. Yeah, thank you guys again for the support. So yes, it's gonna be Norska, Frontline, and Marauders, and of course they're gonna be using the Bretonnian Heavy Cav, which it's really cool to see the factions play to their respective strengths and complement one another. So we're gonna have the Knights of the Lionhearted here, Knights of the Realm. We got the Fey Enchantress here on foot, which is gonna provide some healing to the Norscan army. So one of the big issues with Wulfric, right, compared to Throg, is that he can't heal. So the fact that we can get a fat Earthblood here is definitely gonna be pretty powerful as far as the composition go. I don't believe they share Winds of Magic, no. On top of that, we do have a Metal Sorcery here from Norska. We got the Frostworm, a very heavy core of Knights of the Realm, so it's going to be a pretty tactical game in that respect, although it looks like these Bretonnians are very peasant heavy. So for the team flying, or Taco Lizard, it looks like we have Night Runners here in the front line. Night Runners are just going to be doing some skirmishing. They're not the poison variant, so they can be rode down a little bit easier by the Bretonnian Knights. As far as the infantry corps for this army, though, it looks like peasant mobs. There's some Knights of the Realm over here. We got big King Lewin in the sky, so King Lewin's definitely going to be a power player here. Do they have healing in this army? That's definitely going to be pretty important, but I don't think they do. It looks like Bretonnia decided not to bring magic, and they're just going to be relying on the Skaven magic here, which is going to be very interesting. So Warlock Engineer here in the back does have the Howling Warp Gale and Warp Lightning, so a couple of groups of Rad Ogres. He does have a Warlord on the Bonebreaker and the Grail Knights. So wow, a lot of peasants. I mean, Bretonnia fulfilling relatively similar roles, mostly heavy cav here, but this Bretonnian army does have a couple of groups of Spearmen at Arms and Peasants and things like that, so I definitely think that's going to be pretty interesting. So, start when ready. I am a full-time YouTuber. Yes, this is my job. I love it. It says I have 2 streams live. That's so strange. Yeah, YouTube is being a little bit weird today. It should just be the one, because I don't have like restream or anything. So like I can't even see how many people are watching it for some reason. It's very strange. Yeah, it says like 64 or something. Yeah. But yeah, it's time, guys. Once the players get their armies together, we're going to get rolling here in just a moment. Should just be one stream live, though. Yeah, despite the technical difficulties here. We said we're ready. We're ready. It is go time. And yeah, I don't know. Predictions? I think that the Skaven army is going to be... I think having this Norscan front line is going to be really big for the Extreme Meme team. I think that having these guys kind of is an anchor, whereas this army doesn't have as much. I mean, they have a very heavy core of Night Runners, but Night Runners aren't going to be particularly effective against Marauders and other troops like this, so I'm not really sure how that's going to go. We'll find out here in a moment, that's for sure. Frostworm's going to be pretty useful. Granted, King Lewin could just fly over there and beat it up. There's no other, supporting elements, but the Fey Enchantress could give it the favor of the Fey, plus maybe a regrowth and some healing, and with the final transmutation, maybe Lewin could get taken down by the Frostworm. A little bit tough. Frostworms, as far as their HP, 4,500. Lewin has 45, give or take, too. And Lewin, of course, regenerates and just has better combat stats to boot and the Sword of Corone, so he could definitely beat the Frostworm, but with some supporting elements from the ground, including the Hunter of Champions from Wulfric, there could be some pretty good play in that respect, so yeah. Yes. Good, I'm glad it's the same stream. This is live. Oh yeah, we're live, boys. It's go time. So the front line of the Extreme Meme team is going to be advancing pretty quick here. Professor Pipes is going to be leading the Norscan hordes to engage the Skaven here. And the Skaven are going to be moving forward from Team Lizard Taco. Gutter Runners don't have too many good targets, though. Like I said, I mean, there is the Dragon up in the sky. I guess that's going to be kind of their best use here, is poking down the Dragon, who only does have 70 armor. The Bretonnian Peasants here from the Taco Lizard team are going to be moving forward. They also do have some Rat Ogres in the back. Rat Ogres will give a little bit of punch against the infantry, as well as the heavy cav, but yeah, I'm interested to see if Lewin is going to be going fisticuffs with the Dragon. He does have to be careful. Wulfric can still use the Hunter of Champions while he's fighting the Dragon, and of course the Fey Enchantress for Team Meme Team is, I think, going to make a big difference. The fact that these guys don't have any healing, I mean, they invested a little bit more money at the cost of the caster for the Bretonnian force, simply to just get Lewin fully kitted out and get a couple supporting peasants, so we're about to see if that's going to make an actual difference. So the pirate ship is going to be going down from the Extreme Meme team, going to be dropping down the ranks here of these Night Runners, which is going to do some pretty good damage. Does not look like the Skaven see that, and they move forward. It wasn't like super devastating. I don't think they even lost any models. Yeah, they lost like one model here, so it's not like terrible. And it looks like the Bretonnian forces of Flying Taco and Gojira are going to be fanning out, and yeah, it looks like both players just kind of preparing for a bit of a final charge here. The Marauders, like I said, I think are going to be really good against the Night Runners, simply because they're shielded, they're cheap, and Night Runners, I mean, they're pretty powerful in melee, I suppose, but yeah, the Marauder should be able to beat them, especially the Norscan variant that does have the Enrage mechanic. So yeah, go time, boys. Dragon's going to be swooping overhead. The Gutter Runners are, yeah, they are Gutter. Oh, so he does have some Gutter Runners mixed in there. Okay, so he has one of the poison units just to get some poison options. He's going to be throwing in some slings against the Extreme Meme team's front line of Marauders. As the Marauders do push forward, peasants are going to be rushing to meet their doom at the hands of these filthy barbarians, which is definitely probably pretty standard protocol here for the Bretonnians. And it looks like King Lewin's going to be swooping overhead. He does have some freebies here if he wants to. It looks like he might go after the Frostworm. But remember, there's a final transmutation. There's also Wulfric with the Hunter of Champions. There's going to be a lot going on. So the Skaven Slingers are going to be falling back. The Norskins are going to be engaging in the front line against the Bretonnian forces of the Taco Lizard team. Gotta take a little bit of time to get used to that. In the meantime, it looks like Flying Taco is going to be screening out the heavy cav of the Extreme Meme team. And he's also going to be countercharging with his Knights of the Realm, and it looks like he might get the actual charge here. Black Phillip is going to be trying to pull back with his Knights of the Realm at the last second, but it looks like he might get the charge. But look at this. There's going to be a countercharge coming in from the Knights of the Lionhearted from Black Phillip. So now suddenly it's a 2v1 engagement. And it looks like there's also Knight Errants over here. And also the Extreme Meme team has healing, whereas the Team Lizard Taco does not. 3 Men-at-Arms from Flying Taco are going to be engaging, but they're probably going to get plowed down. I mean, in sustained combat, they'll do pretty well here, but this is definitely looking like it's a bit of an advantageous situation for the Extreme Meme team. Over here, we have a massive pit fight. So we have King Lewin going in, the Fey Enchantress, both players committing a lot of resources here. The Grail Knights, the Frostworm, everything is pretty much thrown into this fight here. But it's looking pretty good for the Norskins. Wulfric the Wanderer is doing a pretty good job kind of chewing down the Lord right here. You can see the final transmutation going on. And the Skaven are going to be piling in from Gojira as well. So the Skaven coming to assist their Bretonnian allies, which is something you don't hear every day. And there's also going to be a ton of Skaven Slave Slingers kind of throwing in and withering down some of these troops. So both players took a bit of a beating from that engagement. The Frostworm was forced back, but King Lewin from the Team Lizard Taco Lizard, gotta get that right, that's so tricky, was able to pull back, and he does have the Blessing of the Lady, so he is able to heal himself for the most part. But you can see here that the battle between these Bretonnian Knights is looking a little bit tough for Flying Taco. You can see his forces are being surrounded by the Knight Errants and the Knights of the Realm, just a sheer numbers game. He does have some Spearmen here, and maybe with King Lewin jumping in, he might be able to kind of take this engagement with the support of the Spears, but nonetheless, it's very tough to say. So the Bretonnian infantry here are grinding through the front line of the Skaven. You can see that Gojira does have some Skaven slaves, and it's mostly Skaven slaves and peasants for Team Lizard Taco. And you can see the Norscan Dragon is going to be jumping back in, providing Frostbite. Fey Enchantress, also with that more dissension effect, I think is making a big difference in this fight. The fact that they have healing is just huge, right? Because this dragon is going to be getting Earthbloods, whereas the Skaven and Bretonnian forces are not going to have that kind of same luxury. In the meantime, the Warlord on the Bonebreaker is going to be jumping in to attack these Knights of the Lionhearted from Black Phillip here. But you can also see there's a Metal Sorcerer here, and it looks like this Skaven Warlord, I mean, these Knights are going to enjoy this fight. The Warlord has only 70 armor, these guys have anti-large, and it's definitely going to be pretty tough. So the balance of power definitely in the favor of the Extreme Meme team right now. You can see up in the sky, the Frostworm is pretty healthy, and the Bretonnian forces of Black Phillip, who is part of the Meme team. I know it's a little bit tricky to keep track of when there's two of the same factions, but looks like they're pressing pretty hard. There is a massive core of Skaven skirmishers here, but they're about to be rode down pretty badly by these Bretonnian Knights. You can see the Skaven having a tough time, and Marauders from Professor Pipes are going to be coming around the back, and Professor Pipes, of course, the other member of the Extreme Meme team. And yeah, it's looking like the Skaven back line is pretty heavily compromised. They've lost the mobile fight for the most part. I mean, they do have some spearmen here. Flying Taco is trying to hold up this bastion, but still, it's going to be tough. I mean, they're not going to be able to keep up around the battlefield. So things are getting pretty wild here. Frostworm's going to be jumping in. You can see King Lewin for the Taco Lizard team has been caught with the Hunter of Champions. The Frostworm's coming in. There's also going to be a countercharge, or not even a countercharge, another charge coming in from the Knights of the Realm to pin him in place. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be game. Gojira and the Skaven, who are supporting the forces of the Taco Lizard here, don't really have that many elements left. I mean, they have a Warlord on a Bonebreaker who's going to be able to take out some of these Knights of the Realm, but Gojira was also able to take out that Shaman Sorcerer with the Bonebreaker, so that's pretty good, but Skaven just really don't have too much. I mean, they have their Slingers back here, but all the Slingers have been compromised for the most part, and that looks like it's going to be game one to the Extreme Meme team. I don't think there's any way that the Team Taco Lizard can come back here, as the Meme team just unleashes the wrath. And ultimately, I think their team was just a little bit more thought out. They had healing, they had a solid infantry core. So Norscan Berserkers are very cost effective. They have that enraged mechanic. Hunter of Champions synergizes really well. With the heavy knights trying to take down big targets, lowering the defensive stats. So I just think the team had healing. It had a more comprehensive front line. It had a good hammer and mandible style of play, and just worked out really well. So right here, you can see it's going to be the last. The Warlord Skaven is going to be dragged down by the Noble Knights of Bretonnia, who are teamed up with the Norskins. A little bit lower and friendly, but nonetheless, the Extreme Meme team is going to be pulling out the victory here today. And that is going to be all she wrote here in the first match. That is going to be it. Thank you guys for joining. Looks like the Skaven have been run down this day. Extreme Meme team doing their thing. It looks like there's a couple of Clan Rats over here on the flanks, but Marauders should be able to chew those guys up. And I don't know how they haven't been slapped with army losses yet. Yeah, hard to say. Looks like there's also going to be some sort of a final transmutation going down here. Yeah, exactly. I think army losses triggers a lot later in 2v2 for some reason. I'm not sure why. Yeah. We will see, guys. No, Taco Lizard, you can see the team. So it's Gojira and Flying Taco, or Taco Lizard, and the Extreme Meme team is Professor Pipes and Black Phillip. We're going to update the scoreboard here to reflect that game. That's going to be 1-0 here. The Extreme Meme team is going to be taking that, but it is a best of 3. So let's go ahead and get Wookiee back up as the blocker. We're going to be jumping right into the next game. Game 2. Change. So you're going to be changing. Yeah, it says I'm double streaming, which is weird. I don't know how that's possible. Oh, sorry. There was like some draining sound. Sure, baby. Yeah, I'll double check the streams right now. I'm not sure why. I mean, I could restart it, but I'd rather not. So it should just be one stream. Technical difficulties. Yeah, I see like a Christmas Day live battle, but it does go to the same stream ultimately, which is interesting. I wonder if it's going to put up 2. Because one of them might have been the unlisted stream, and the other one is like, let me double check this. We're throwing the nets wide. One of them's called the Christmas Day stream. Yeah, that's so weird. That's so weird. Yeah. Double the streams, double the notifications. All right, I'll take it, I guess. No problem. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, and again, Jason Denny, thank you for the donation. Faust, as well as Cheap Death 10 and Anti-Mage. Thank you guys so much for the generous donations for the lady. And I will definitely check the PayPal, Faust. So, this game we have a showdown between the Wood Elves and the Greenskins. So it's going to be Wood Elves and Greenskins. Again, a lot of lore unfriendly matchups here. And they're going to be facing off against the Dwarves and the High Elves. So literally like 2 factions that are essentially the antithesis of one another are going to be facing off here, which should be quite a bit of fun. No, I mean, it doesn't matter what stream you're on. there's actually 2 streams. So for anyone who's watching, I don't know. Hopefully I can see chat from both. There might be a chance that I can only see chat from this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. So my apologies. There's the correct one is called the Gotrek and Felix 2v2 tournament series. I'm hoping it all goes into one video. But yeah, well, I mean, I'll take it, whatever. Yeah, not a problem. A little bit annoying, but we'll survive. So yeah, right now it looks like Gojira and Flying Taco, Team Lizard Taco, are going to be going for Greenskins and Wood Elves, and they're going to be facing off against Dwarves and High Elves, which is feeling a little bit tough. I mean, I feel like that's going to be a really hard one for the Greenskins and the Wood Elves there, but nonetheless, we'll see what they pull off. And remember, both players have a combined total of 12,400 gold, which is the same as a ladder battle, so it's not... It really does change the dynamic of things for sure, but are we going to see... We are literally seeing a pre-war vengeance build. So back in the day, in terms of Warhammer lore, the dwarves and the high elves used to actually be like the greatest allies. I've been reading a couple of the books. So they used to be like just homies, right? Until there was like, you know, the War of Vengeance or War of the Beard and the Betrayal and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, they used to be like this impervious force, right? Because the dwarves would have this heavy metal front line of elite armored infantry, and the high elf archers and dragons would just sit behind and just roast things and shoot arrows. And so we're going to see if the pre-war vengeance build here coming in from Professor Pipes and Mr. Phillip can do the trick. And yeah, we're going to see. Yeah, I can read this. Dat ding. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully when I do end the stream, though, it puts it all as like one video. Or, I mean, I guess it might put it up as 2. I don't really know. Yeah, I see that. I don't know how that is happening. Because I click stream once. I have OBS open once. That is so obnoxious. YouTube is just like, just so incompetent here. Let me go to the live streaming here and see if that changed. I see it right now. I see the 2 streams. Okay. That's horrible. Guys, I think we just discovered a new technology today, it would seem. Okay, so this one looks good. Let's see what the live streaming looks like on this one. It has the correct title here and everything. You're in the Christmas... Okay, so if you guys are in the Christmas stream, then you guys can all see it. Okay. Oh, they have the same chat. Okay, that's good to know. That was the main thing. I didn't want to be missing like half the chat from you guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see Durthu. It's hard to say. Yeah, make sure to like both streams. I don't know which one we're going to post in the end, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, Sultan of Suspect in chat had a really good point that you could use like someone like Mel Gibson and use the Horn of the Wild Hunt to give a massive charge bonus to your army. And then from there, you could use the Wa to get like just a huge charge bonus. And then, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We're going to see. Tiamat64, thank you for becoming a member here on the channel. Really appreciate it. I think you were a member before, weren't you? And yeah, for anyone who's wondering, you can essentially become a member of YouTube, just like you can on Twitch, like when you sponsor someone. So that's what that is. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. You just missed one game. You just missed one game. All right, lads, who's opened the interdimensional portal? Oh my god, it's so great. One of the turns has a fine wrist, and the evil twin is waiting for his moment to take over. God. Start when ready. Let them know they can start when ready. So no lag so far. I'm actually really enjoying this. We could see a giant tree. Although I don't think we're probably going to see a Durthu pick, because Durthu is a pretty big, juicy target for a high elf and dwarf army. I mean, you have a ton of guns, you have all sorts of missiles, cannons, and we are in the Sword of Torgvald, which is a pretty good map for like defensive play. So, yeah. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining on both of our streams. Somehow this is restreaming to YouTube twice. Hopefully, it's not eating up twice my bandwidth. So, as far as today's matchups go, this is the first showdown between Team Taco Lizard and the Extreme Meme Team. And then the next showdown is going to be, I believe, Team Project 13, or I forget what it is off the top of my head, but it's Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War facing off against Dob Plays and Romulan Dog are going to be the next showdown here. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't see... If you're playing Dwarfs High Elves, you got to have like a massive Dwarf line and then just like High Elf missiles. But wouldn't it be interesting to see them like go with like Spearmen and then Dwarf guns and cannons on the back? That would be pretty good stuff. So yeah, I mean, Dwarves and High Elves used to be the closest to bros back in the day. So essentially, what happens is you have these two characters. You have Snorri Whitebeard, who's the High King of the Dwarves before the War of Vengeance, and then you have Malekith. So Malekith at that time, if I'm not mistaken, was actually an ambassador between the High Elves and the Dwarves. And the High Elves and the Dwarves in this period of time, this was like they basically ruled over everything. They were like the biggest world powers. The Dwarves just like owned most of what's known as the Old World, where the empires and everything. I mean, Dwarves were just everywhere. Same with the High Elves; they were just like the biggest of bros, right? So the Dwarves and High Elves used to kind of team up and take on the threats of chaos. So chaos would be coming into the world, and the Dwarves and High Elves would just like kind of give each other the bro fist bump, and they would just go and like dumpster the warriors of chaos, with their combined forces, because they were so powerful. The Dwarves had these like massive infantry lines, just super beefy, just iron breakers, stuff like that, right? And then you had the High Elves who had these massive dragons, and they had archers just for days, so they would just mow down chaos together. But long story short, what ends up happening is Malekith, Snorri Whitebeard, who was the High King of the Dwarves, and him and Malekith were best friends. Snorri eventually passes due to old age, essentially, and Malekith and him make a bit of an oath, and Snorri makes him promise to keep the relations good between the elves and the dwarves. But long story short, Malekith, of course, you guys all know his story arc. He basically betrays that oath, and he starts attacking at some point. I forget why he does it. I think it has something to do with his relationships with the High Elves, but he starts, what the hell is going on over here? Oh my god. Oh my god, is this what I think it is? But yeah, Malekith essentially starts having his Dark Elves attack dwarf cities dressed as High Elves, basically. And that starts the War of Vengeance, which is the great cataclysmic war between the dwarves and the elves, which essentially decimates both of their empires and leads to their downfall. But yeah, the dwarves actually end up winning the War of Vengeance. In one final battle, the High King Gotrek Starbreaker actually just smites the High Elf Lord upon his keep on the 14th siege of the castle. Anyways, the first battle is underway here, and it looks like we have a massive vanguard from the dwarves. Sorry, I got so caught up in that story, but anyways, the dwarves and the High Elves are going to be advancing the War of Vengeance army here, moving forward, miners with blasting charges. On top of that, we have rangers here in the secondary line, and it looks like they're going to be unleashing some serious hell into these black orcs. So the Wood Elves essentially just brought Mel Gibson and a ton of Wild Riders, and the Greenskins just brought mass black orcs. So here comes the first charge. Wild Riders going to be getting the Horn of the Wild Hunt, giving them that fat charge bonus into those miners, and they actually did a lot of damage. I'm surprised about that. Alariel's going to be flying overhead looking for some targets, but there's basically just Savage Orcs and Black Orcs everywhere. The Wood Elves, of course, complementing the Greenskins with their cav, and here comes a Dragon Prince charge coming right down the pipe, so the Dwarves holding them in place, and the Dragon Princes from the High Elves riding through the fire and flames. Man, things are getting pretty hog wild in this engagement here. In the meantime, the Savage Orcs of Gojira have broken through the front line here, but they're going to be getting heavily crossfired. Rune of Wrath and Ruin going down from the Rune Lord. They're chasing these Altar's Raiders, but they're also getting focused by Bogman's Rangers, just a ton of firepower coming in. But it looks like the Greenskin front line is breaking through, and the High Elves have committed a lot to the back line. So Silverhelm's trying to catch these Wild Riders. He should definitely at least chase with one of those groups, because it looks like the Wild Riders did stop there for a moment. But Dwarves and the High Elves are, fighting here in the front line. The Miners are starting to buckle a little bit, and it looks like the Black Orcs are kind of just grinding their way through. And it looks like Gojira is going to be dropping a fat Foot of Gork. Oh, Foot of Gork coming down right on top of these Dragon Princes. It melts those guys, just butters them up, and the Black Orcs are just chewing through them. So Mel Gibson and Wurzog are doing a pretty good job kind of cleaning up the front line. Black Orcs, Savage Orcs are winning across the board. The Dwarves brought mostly Miners. Again, they're relying heavily on the cav of the High Elves and their archers themselves. But it looks like Wild Riders have gotten into the back line. So the Wild Riders are just kind of riding through these Dwarf infantry, while the Black Orcs and the other Greenskin forces are just mowing down the Miners in the front line. So it's a little bit tough. In the back, Mel Gibson looks like he's going to be fighting shoulder to shoulder with Wurzog against these Wild Riders, and it looks like the Silverhelms have come in as well. So very, very pitched fight here, but the High Elves and the Dwarves trying to crack this back line, but I don't think they're going to be able to with Orion and the Baconator here, but it looks like Arcane and Forging perhaps going to be going down. Wurzog does pop get back here, which is going to motivate Mel Gibson to stay in the fight as if he needed any help in that respect. Another group of Wild Riders are going to be charging into the forces of the High Elves and the Dwarves. And yeah, I mean, just a massive cav charge coming in from all angles. Both players committing all their resources to this backline engagement. And you can see Alariel, the Pigeon Queen, is going to be dropping a fat Earthblood on those guys. We certainly got a fight here. Very, very close battle. So the Dwarves were getting chased back a little bit, but it looks like the Bugman's Rangers and the other troops have kind of formed ranks here, and they're going to start shooting into the Black Orcs and some of these other targets. On the far side of the battlefield, Bugman's Rangers, unfortunately, are fully surrounded by Savage Orcs. And even though Bugman's Rangers are pretty durable by Dwarf standards, they're probably going to get cut down here by just the hordes and hordes of Savage Orcs. Definitely a very lore-friendly situation here. The Rune Lord is going to keep fighting, but he has the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but I don't know if he has enough to kind of salvage this situation. On top of that, Flying Taco and Gojira, or Team Lizard Taco, does have some supporting elements nearby that can slam in here and do pretty well. But the Extreme Meme team has stabilized the backfield to an extent, but still Mel Gibson's just running rampant, but look at this. Gojira actually loses his Lord, so Black Phillip and the Extreme Meme Team, the High Elves and the Dwarves, are able to get the Baconator. So they get the Baconator, and it looks like some Black Orcs are going to be rushing in to help, but the Horn of the Wild Hunt buffing the Black Orcs up to 36 speed, which is quite legendary. Another group of Black Orcs over here is just kind of cleaving through some of these miners and just definitely paying some dues for sure. But the Dwarves are trying to fall back and, just kind of kite out these Greenskins and maybe drag them through the fire of these Rangers and the Bugman's Rangers here. So very, very close fight. Hard to say who's going to come out here. You can see that Orion was able to fend off the Silverhelms in the back line, and the other group of Silverhelms was taken out by the Wild Riders and the Black Orcs. So it looks like the Team Lizard Taco is in a pretty good position, I would say. I mean, having Mel Gibson here is going to be very, very tough to kill. But again, there are two Lords here for the Extreme Meme Team. So they still have a Lariel, they still have a Rune Lord, and you can see that the Lord and leadership situation for the Greenskins and the Wood Elves is looking a little bit grim. But the Baconator, if he rallies, that's going to be very powerful. I would definitely want to chase him off the battlefield. So the Baconator does rally, which is huge. So getting him back is going to provide a lot. Maybe another WAD, there could be another layering of his buffs and FG of the Get. And here you can see that the Alariel, the Pigeon Queen, actually thought about engaging there, but the Baconator was able to get that pinning effect right there on Alariel, hold her in place, and he might be able to squeal away and at least hide amongst his Savage Orcs and some of his other troops. In the meantime, these Black Orcs here from Slow Jira and Team Lizard Talker are going to be pushing into some of these Rangers, and yeah, 35 Black Orcs should have no problem with those Rangers. And over here, Wild Riders are also shutting down the other group of Bugman's Rangers. Granted, Bugman's Rangers aren't pushovers. They might be able to fight here and actually finish off the Wild Riders, but it's looking pretty grim in that respect. So a big Alpha Strike coming in. It looks like the Baconator does get attacked by Alariel, but Mel Gibson is nearby. Savage Orcs are nearby. She's in a little bit of danger as the Wah is being popped, giving a speed buff, and that's Mel Gibson is being affected by the Wah. So his combat stats must be insane right now, and he's going to be chasing, and you can see Gojira does also drop Fist of Gork here on these guys, but oh man, Alariel comes in with the Pigeon Claws, and he's able to get a huge attack on Wurzog right there. He might actually break, but she's also taken a ton of damage from Mel Gibson, guys. It's a little bit grim, but yeah, it looks like Wurzog is going to be broken off the battlefield, and Orion is going to be trying to chase down Alariel the Radiant here, so things are getting pretty nasty for sure. In the meantime, Black Orcs are trying to clean up the remnants of the Dwarf army, but the High Elves are coming in to rescue the Dwarves. High Elves are going to be charging down to attack these Wild Riders, and maybe if the High Elves can kind of secure this mobile situation, and the Bugman's Rangers and the other Rangers can get back online, especially this group, although they only have 2 shots left, so they pretty much expended their full volleys here. In the meantime, you can see the Pigeon Lady is going to continue to chase off the Baconator. He only has 292 HP, so Lariel the Radiant should be able to kind of chase and finish him off, which is going to be a little bit tough. Savage Orcs are going to be pouring up the high ground here, and you can see that they're going to be following their Lord and Savior, Mel Gibson, who does pop the Horn of the Wild Hunt, giving a massive movement buff to the entire army of Greenskins. But there is still a ton of High Elf Cav, so the High Elf Cav are going to be very, very tough to deal with. There also is a Rune Lord. Rune Lord's still pretty healthy, so, I don't know if he probably has 1 Rune of Wrath and Ruin left. Over here, some of the Dwarf Archers are going to be shooting, but they take a massive Horn of the Wild Hunt charge here from the Wild Riders. That's probably going to be enough to buckle off those Rangers from those Wood Elves. So Bounce Power is pretty much dead. Even I wouldn't say either army's in a very commanding position. I mean, Orion is one of those lords that if he survives in the late game, he's unbreakable. He does not care about army losses. He's going to keep fighting till the bitter end. So that's going to be incredibly tough to take out Orion here. So he's going to be charging down and dropping some hot spear action here on these Bugman Rangers and some of these other troops. But the Silverhelms are going to be coming in for a Rohirrim charge. So the Silverhelms is making a bit of a charge against the Greenskin and Wood Elf line, but Orion is going to be waiting there. Black Orcs have good armor too, and Silverhelms have poor AP. So Black Orcs are probably going to take that charge reasonably well. Savage Orcs probably not so much, but you can see here that the Flying Taco is going to be sending it over Orion to kind of terror out some of those guys, and it looks like it's working. There are some Rangers back here. I'm surprised that Gojira didn't turn around and attack those Rangers with these guys, because they might start shooting again, but yeah, there you go. So Gojira does notice the Rangers. He's going to be turning around the Savage Orcs and Black Orcs to finish those guys off, and it looks like a lot of the Silverhelms are just beat to hell. I mean, I don't know, guys. I think that Team Taco Lizard is probably going to take this one, because I don't know who can kill Mel Gibson. He's just going to be throwing these Olympic spears all day, just giving the business. I mean, he has full health. Does he have the Cloak of Isha? Oh, no. Huge mistake here from Flying Taco. He forgot the Cloak of Isha, which is one of the best items. It makes him almost impossible to kill. Oh, man, that is really tough, especially in a small environment like this. I mean, I think the Cloak of Isha would have been huge, but I guess maybe he was just trying to pinch pennies. But yeah, those massive javelins going down and lancing 5 or 6 dwarves with one blow. And both players are going to be, or armies are going to be uniting here. They're waiting for Alariel, the Pigeon Queen, to come back, but that's a lot of Black Orcs, I suppose. But yeah, on that same note, I mean, both armies are just so tattered here. Very even 2 versus 2 game here. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the pre-War of Vengeance army between the Dwarves and High Elves is going to be able to take on the combined Wood Elf Wah, as we'll call it? The Wood Elf Wah taking on the War of Vengeance army here. So pre-War of Vengeance. Dwarves don't have any more missiles. I mean, they might have some with the... Oh, they have these Bugman's Rangers. They have 3 volleys left, so they're going to be able to kind of poke in and do a little bit of damage here. But guys, I'm telling you, this Orion has this Olympic arm. Look at that spear just coming in and just plowing into the dwarf formation. I know it did some pretty good damage before, but yeah, it took out a Silverhelm right there. But Probably going to start focusing down the Rune Lord, but look at that, a massive heal coming in from Alariel. And you think dwarves are hard to kill already. Healing plus dwarves, look at the bounce of power start to shift. But Orion is probably content just sitting here throwing his spears. Bugman's Rangers are going to unleash their last volley, but they're pretty much out. But Bugman's Rangers actually do break off those Savage Orcs there in the back, and Orion is just kind of throwing in with this Olympic arm. He's got that Major League Baseball action going on. And I don't know, guys, this is a very close battle. So the Cloak of Isha, for anyone who's wondering, when Mel Gibson or Orion gets below a certain threshold of HP, he takes, I think, like a certain amount of damage resist. It's pretty massive. It's like 50%, and then he also starts healing. So it heals him and reduces the amount of damage he takes overall, which is pretty powerful. So massive spear coming in and lancing that dwarf. Oh man, poor guy, brutal stuff. But you know, he's going to be going to the Hall of Ancestors for sure. Black Orcs are going to be fanning out to intercept the dwarves. You can see some Silverhelms coming around the back, and what an epic ending here to this best of 3 showdown between Team Taco Lizard and the Extreme Meme team. I'll get them. And you're going to be seeing these teams quite a bit. We're going to be trying to do more 2v2s. We might be doing them like once every 2 weeks or something. So the Horn of the Wild Hunt has been popped, which is going to be giving that huge speed buff to the entire army. Dwarves are marching forward. The Silverhelm's charging in, but Orion is very fast. I don't know. I really think if Orion just goes and kills this Rune Lord, like while the Black Orcs are fighting, like if he just gets in there, he can kill that Rune Lord very quickly. I mean, but I know he's trying to screen the back line to make sure the Silverhelms don't get that free charge, because you can see here he's going to be intercepting these guys. Oh my god, look how big Orion is. I never like realized how truly giant he is. So he's able to just lance down those Silverhelms, and he's going to be coming in, but Alariel's coming in, and it looks like they're trying to break the leadership of the Black Orcs here, and not a bad idea. The Black Orcs definitely not happy about being rear charged, but Orion's going to be coming in and dropping some hot fire. If he had... Oh, look at that. Alariel takes a massive spear to the face. If Orion had the Cloak of Isha, I think they might have a chance, but without the Cloak of Isha, I think he's actually just going to get worn down here. I mean, he's pretty tanky in his own right with a big HP pool. He's basically a demigod of the Wood Elves here, but yeah, I don't think it's going to go well. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have that healing. Cloak of Isha, I think, would have maybe won it for him. That's a little bit, man, I wish we had seen that, because I think that the Wood Elves and the Orcs might have been able to pull this one out, but it looks like the Extreme Meme team might be able to just grind Orion out, but guys, remember, if these infantry start to get terror-routed by Orion, even though the bounce power is like this, Orion might be able to beat Alariel and this Rune Lord. I mean, but he's starting to get worn down. He's at 2,500 HP. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Mel Gibson with the steel chair, yeah. Oh my god, I don't know. Mel Gibson in WWE would be terrifying. Like this guy, he would just be crushing everyone. He would just like pick up the Undertaker and break him over his knee. But Orion is starting to get worn down. I mean, he is probably going to terror out a lot of these guys. Actually, you can see the Silverhelms, and suddenly you can see the meme team is like, oh god, we have to deal with this thing. But he's getting very low. But if Orion had the Cloak of Isha, this game would actually be over. I think that the bounce power would swing all the way back, and Orion would be able to win this fight. He's unbreakable. It doesn't matter about army losses. Alariel's going to be charging in as well. Orion has about 1,100 HP, but he's coming in with that skewer. If he can maybe finish off Alariel. Oh man, he comes in with a massive poke right there, but I think it was on the Rune Lord, which is absolute insanity. Thanks, baby. Lovely Lady Turin coming in with the coffee. Yeah. Keep me going. But man, that's so unfortunate. I wish we had seen the the Cloak of Isha. Because I really think he could have won that. I really think he would have won it. So the Extreme Meme team with the pre-war Vengeance team is going to satisfy the grudge as the Rune Lord comes in and finishes him off. Yes, this is a tournament. So this is a 2v2 tournament. All right, guys, so that's going to be it. The Extreme Meme team is going to take that series 2-0, but that was a very close, very solid game. I loved that build. I mean, Orion seems very powerful in this environment, like a small heroes environment. Like, he's just a force of nature, which is incredibly cool. So, yeah. Yeah, the real stream, there's 2 streams running right now. I have no idea why, but one of them is called the Gotrek and Felix 2v2 tournament series, and that's the correct one, but it doesn't really matter which one you're on, to be honest. I just don't know if you're donating on the Christmas stream. I don't know if I can see it, so my apologies. Yeah, I'll try and take a look and see what's going on, but really, I have no idea. But well played to both teams. That was an amazing game, so amazing game. Stay here. All right. And now we're going to go ahead and go find the other game here in just a moment. So let's jump out of this lobby. We're going to go find the other lobby here. So let's make sure we can go to a quick intermission. This will be super quick. It'll literally be like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. All right, be right back, guys. All right, guys, and we're back. It is go time. Hopefully, you guys are ready, and we're going to be having a showdown between Team Romulan Dov and Team. Let me go ahead and make sure I get their name right. So I got to actually change the titles and everything right now. And yeah, I'll keep investigating. But if you guys are on the Christmas stream, make sure to come over to the Gotrek and Felix 2v2 team tournament series. That's going to be the correct stream. I'm trying to figure out a way to shut down the other one. I have no idea how that's possible, but that I've literally never seen that. YouTube streaming at its finest. But regardless, I will push on here. So we have the team Article 13, which is going to be Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War, facing off against it's going to be Romulan Dov. Oh my god. Here we go. I got to make sure I get this right. The most creative of names. It's actually my favorite so far, to be honest. All right, funds are on the correct amount. Everything's looking good in that respect. So let me go ahead and get the army blocker up. And I think we're going to see some nastiness coming out here, guys. I think it's going to get pretty crazy. Dog plays. Chad Christmas dream first. Oh my god, you guys. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. I like when I started the stream, it was unlisted and I made it public. So I think maybe that like screwed it up somehow. Oh my god. It's so weird. So weird. I have no idea. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for your donation so far. It's been very generous. So my apologies again for anyone on the Christmas stream trying to do things. It's I don't know why. Maybe it's like because I lost with the dwarves. Jason Denny, I do see the donation on PayPal of the $50 US. So Jason, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. David as well on there, and then also Mark on Patreon. So thank you, man. If you guys really enjoy the 2v2 format, yeah, I'll probably play Magic this week. I'll probably do a Magic stream. It's been a little bit. My hands have been getting a lot worse, so I've been, unfortunately, haven't been able to do as much stuff as I want to. I record for like 3 or 4 hours. I play games and I record every single day, and then after that, it's usually I'm so inflamed and a lot of pain in my hands that like I can't really do anything the rest of the day. So I just basically need to kind of sit and read or do something very like not using my hands, and then after I sleep and stretch and everything, you know, the next morning I'm usually okay. That's kind of my routine, unfortunately. But I think that this format is awesome. This is actually, I think, one of my new favorite formats. It's so cool to see the armies on like a micro level, like, and how they can complement one another. I actually really want to play in something like this. Maybe I'll host this next week and I'll just play in it. So Alexander Marsh here in chat is the glorious Professor Pipes, and he is one of the 2 members of the Extreme Meme team. And Mr. Marsh, feel free to drop a link to your Twitch if you'd like. And guys, Exploding Hamster, for any of you guys who are looking for a German commentary channel, I believe he only does commentary in German, but his channel is Exploding Hamster, and go check him out. He's streaming right now, so if you guys want to watch live from his perspective, you can even have both open and just like mute the sound on one or the other, depending on what you want to listen to. And you can actually watch him play live in this tournament right now. So, yeah, thank you, Cream of Wheat. Italian Spartacus and I actually played 40K. We actually played 40K last week. It was really fun. So, as far as the matchup goes, wow, this is going to be a hard one. We have Romulan Dog and Dov going with a true nasty here. We have the Vampire Coast and the Tomb Kings facing off against Double Wa. Now, you have to also remember the perceived strength of the Double Wa, because they can layer it. And that means like for a period of like 40 to 60 seconds, I forget what it is, they're going to have a nonstop buff to their entire army. So it's pretty damn strong in its own right. And I mean, they could just like spam hordes of goblins and go crazy, and yeah. It's wild. I don't know what we're going to see, guys. I really don't. I mean, the thing is, if Dov wants to bring someone like, let's say, Count Noctilus, right? Count Noctilus is going to cost like 3,000 gold. That's half his army. This is it's a very different format, right? So they won't have any meat and potatoes, and perhaps he could be dragged down by greenskin goblins and archers. So, yeah. Sorry, just responding to a message here. And sorry, I just got a funny message. Oh my god. So yeah, I played 40k with Italian Spartacus. I played my Death Guard army, and he played his Blood Angels. But you know, it was his first time playing in a long time, and he didn't quite know all the rules yet. So yeah, I was able to win the game, but he did very well for himself. I had Mortarion get warp timed up the table on turn 1 and just like cleave like a whole flank of the table. Yeah. Do you think it'd be an yeah. I mean, I think the maps that you get in multiplayer, honestly, if as far as quick battle maps go, if they would just get rid of like the Nagaron maps, like the forested dark maps that are like impossible to see in and it's all trees, like I think it would be pretty solid, really. Yeah, high money 2v2 just becomes a bit of a mess. But when you have like 2v2s smaller funds, like you really get to see like the individual strengths of players and their tactics and everything. So I like Dov's army a lot. He actually just switched it and brought some really solid stuff. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. Yeah, this is going to be our best of 3. Did I reset the scores up top? I did, I think. Yeah, and it looks like people are finding their way to the right channel now, which is good. So remember, if you guys are watching on the Christmas stream, come over to the other one, to the Gotrek and Felix 2v2 tournament series. Although hopefully it'll let me publish like, it's probably gonna like, I wonder if it's recording both of the streams as like 2 videos. That'd be so weird. Because normally it records it while you're streaming it, and then you can like upload it after it processes. That's how it works. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so for my Death Guard army, I have multiple lists, and maybe I'll do a video this week. I don't have a good enough hand camera set up yet to film the army, but I do have Battle Scribe, so I could actually make a video showing you guys my 40k armies for anyone who's interested. I have 2. I have one that runs Typhus the Traveler, or Typhus, you know, Herald of Nurgle, as you want to call him, whatever. And it's a very Poxwalker Horde-centric army, so we run Poxwalkers, we run Cultists. It's very wide. It's about holding objectives and tar pitting the battlefield. The other one I run that I played against Italian Spartacus is a Mortarion list, which runs 10 Blightlord Terminators. It runs a Death Guard detachment, super heavy auxiliary detachment with Mortarion, and then I run Alpha Legion detachment just to get a Chaos Sorcerer to cast Warp Time on Mortarion. So yeah, he has a jump pack. So he just, on turn 1, you move up Mortarion 12 inches, you jump pack after him with the Chaos Sorcerer, you Warp Time, use your command rerolls if you have to, while making sure you're outside of denial range of their caster, so you have to do that during deployment. And from there, Mortarion can move another 12 inches right in front of their army, basically, because that's like the whole board. And he can literally kill anything he touches. So if you can get him in your opponent's face in turn 1 and get some value, and they don't kill him on their following turn, you basically win the game with him. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. But if they pop him on turn 1, you're probably going to lose. He's 1/4 of your whole army. So I actually almost bought a dwarf army yesterday. They had a full dwarf army on for Age of Sigmar. Now, it's not the stupid new dwarves like the ones that ride in blimps. It's the old school dwarves. They're called the Dispossessed in Age of Sigmar. You can still play old dwarves. So I almost bought a whole dwarf army, but yeah, it didn't have everything I wanted. I wanted like Quarrelers and stuff like that, but yeah. I've actually beaten NIDS before. One of my second games I played in an ITC event, which is a tournament event here in Los Angeles. I beat the NIDS because Death Guard. So my Tyranid opponent was playing a Gene Stealer army. So he had a massive horde of Gene Stealers, like 3 full groups or 2 full groups. I forget what it was. It was like 2 stacks of 20. But Death Guard have a ton of flamethrowers. So you have the fetid Bloatrons and the Plague Burst Crawlers, and they're so good at roasting Gene Stealers. So good. So I was able to win that game. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't know how the 2 streams are going. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, start when ready. Cool. Yes, they're on the right map. So here we go, guys. Showdown between the Vampire Coast and the Tomb Kings. They're going to be facing off against double Greenskins. This is going to be interesting. Hey, Spenson, if you're interested in selling those Dispossessed, let me know. I might be interested in buying them off you. Shoot me a message on Discord if you could. I obviously don't like the end times, but what can you do? You can't win them all. Oh, dude, I eat Thai food like every other day. All right, guys, so this is the second best of 3 of the day. It's going to be a showdown between Team Romulan Dov and Team Article 13, which is going to be Exploding Hamster, one of the fan favorites here, as well as Zardar Total War. So it's going to be quite a bit of fun. Wookiee is blocking the armies. Players are readying up. Romulan, Dog, and Dov making their final adjustments. And for anyone watching after the fact, I will absolutely have links to the respective what's it called? To the timestamps of the battles and everything like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody yeah, that was 40k I was talking about. But I do want to play Age of Sigmar because not because I like the thematics, but because I can play a dispossessed army. So the dispossessed are basically dwarves. Warhammer Fantasy dwarves are playable in Age of Sigmar, and they're called the dispossessed because apparently there's something in the lore where like Grungni or their ancestor gods like abandon them for some reason or other, and but they still are the same dwarves. They have the Book of Grudges. They have the same culture, the same attitude. They're not like a new flashy army, but you can use like I just want to get a ton of Ironbreakers, Dwarf Warriors, and Quarrelers, and just like have a Helm's Deep, and you still can play them. And I'm just going to call it a dwarf army. Like, who cares? Like, you call it whatever you want. You're still fighting chaos and stuff. So who cares? It's going to be fun. But someday I will buy a dispossessed army. I'm very interested in that. So, yes, Darren, send your address. But yeah, what I was telling you guys earlier, like the whole War of Vengeance story is so epic. It's like, oh man, I was so happy to find out that the dwarves actually won the War of Vengeance too. But it's crazy. Yeah. Like, so for anyone who doesn't know, Grom Brindle is actually Snorri Whitebeard. So Grom Brindle is like basically the spirit or reincarnation of Snorri Whitebeard, the dwarf king who Malekith betrayed. And essentially the War of Vengeance then happened. So he was like so pissed off he comes back from the grave. And in the lore, so like you guys see Grom Brindle and like playing in Total War Warhammer, and he's kind of just like, he's like powerful, but he's not like a huge game changer. But Grom Brindle in the books and the lore is just like a destroyer of worlds. Like he literally single-handedly changes battles and like cleaves through entire armies. Like, well, with this, he usually comes and helps beleaguer dwarf armies is how he works. But anyways, so here we have the forces of Romulan Dog, who's going to be using Ark in the Black. So Ark in the Black is going to be the choice, a very, very good choice, because he has summons. He does also have a Kemrian War Sphinx, one group of skeleton horsemen, and on top of that, what do we got in the front line? So yeah, it looks like it's just going to be skeleton warriors, and then it looks like Dov does have zombie pirate deckhand mob, so a very chaffy army. A couple big supporting elements, and we do have a screaming meme catapult. So Romulan Dog coming in with the memes here, the screaming skull catapult. Up in the sky, Dog Plays does have deck droppers, but he's not going for the handgun deck droppers. He's going for the weaker ones, which are going to be the pistol deck droppers. And he also has Celostra on a giant enemy crab. So we have a giant angry crab here. Celostra is going to be dropping some crab summons. We have a Vampire Fleet Captain for more summons, Ark in the Black, and the Kemrian War Sphinx. So pretty cool little undead army, not much range. Monsters play, Screaming Skull Catapult. Summons here, summons here. We have summons from Ark in the Black, so it's going to be a lot of summons. So I'm quite eager to see if the greens can walk and really take these guys down. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's go time. So, for the forces of Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War, it looks like we have Night Goblins here in the front line. So, a lot of Gobos and Night Goblin Shaman here and Night Goblin Shaman here. Oh, my God. They're just going to be shooting the Vindictive Glares all day. So, these both belong to, yeah, Zardar and Exploding Hamster both have one. We got Nasty Skulkers who are going to be pressuring the flank. Main line is Savage Orcs and Black Orcs. We got, an Orc War Boss, and then we also have Wurzog. So Wurzog's going to be dancing. Zardar's got the moves here. He's doing his thing. And then the Orc War Boss here for Exploding Hamster. So Hamster obviously realizing the big expensive lords might not be worth it because a stripped down Orc War Boss costs like almost nothing. In the back, we got some skirmishers and some archers as well. And yeah, the rest of the area. So very, very cool greenskin army. He's got like a Goblin Missile line here. He's got like a Savage Orc line. He's got Goblins on the flanks. It's very well balanced. And you can see the players, I mean, it's almost indistinguishable that it's two armies. The players are deploying together, right? Which is very, very cool. So we're going to see how this goes. Start when ready. Did I type that? Yes. Start when ready. Cool. Yeah, and if you guys are watching, make sure to come join the stream, the Gotrek and Felix stream. That's actually supposed to be the 2 versus 2 one. I don't know why there's 2 streams. It's so ridiculous. Hey, take care, Destin Swede. Good luck shoveling your driveway, man. Good luck shoveling the driveway. All right, so the Greenskin Hordes are going to be moving forward. The Nasty Skulkers on the flank have been detected, and the Screaming Meme Catapult is going to be shooting in. Looks like it's going to be going after Savage Orc. Savage Orc's taking a little bit of a beating. And the first of the Goblin Missiles actually comes in and hits Ark of the Black square in the face. And yeah, I mean, that's some free damage right there. Well, not free, but you guys get the picture. Anyways, the deck droppers are getting a little bit of harassment on the flanks, but the Greenskins are going to respond with their Morgulf's Magi Marauders, as well as these Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, who are a very good counter against deck droppers. So those guys are going to be sweeping out. And yeah, the Screaming Meme Catapult continuing to shoot in against the Savage Orcs. First of the Goblins are going to be arriving, but they're going to be taking a massive charge here from the Skeleton Horsemen. But, oh, Zardar actually drops a Smoke Bomb, but he misses. Unfortunately, he mistimed it, so the Skeleton Horsemen are able to get away. And it looks like these Skulkers are going to be falling back after that misfire right there. Aside from that, the Greenskins are going to be collapsing in on the flank. There's probably going to be some pressure from the Forest Goblin Spider Riders back here on the Catapult. I mean, there's not much protecting it, actually, so I think that one of them should definitely move something back there. But the Khemrian War Sphinx jumping in here, getting a nice little jump on the nasty Skulkers, and they're definitely fighting a little bit danger close to the edge of the battlefield, which could potentially, rat off these Skulkers very quickly if they just get terror routed. So the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are going to be jumping in on the Khemrian War Sphinx. Skeletons are going to be engaging Goblins in the front line, and the main fight is underway. So Savage Orcs engaging against the Undead Hordes. And Savage Orcs are definitely going to have a fun time here. I mean, they're going to lawnmower these undead. I mean, you can see they're going to be staking massive HP. Savage Orcs in the middle with the Orc Warboss. The Waaagh hasn't been popped yet. I definitely am going to be expecting Waaagh here in just a moment. And there's the first Waaagh. So I'm sure Zardar and Exploding Hamster are coordinating these Waaghs. And I'm really eager to see how that plays out. So Nasty Skulkers actually get the Waaagh effect. They pile in. Ooh, man, they're actually prison shanking Ark in the Black as well as his Khemrian War Sphinx. So Nasty Skulker is pretty good against large, but again, leadership is going to be a big issue for those guys. Deck Droppers in the meantime just providing some overwatch against Black Orcs. And it looks like Ark in the Black did summon a bit of a roadblock. So very well played there. He summons a roadblock, Romulan Dog, to block off this entire force and maybe even advance on them and cause some problems. Look at that Goblin firing line. But, oh, Dov Plays actually summons those damn Knight Errants coming in. Knights Errants. And they're going to get a full charge into the back of these Night Goblins. Very, very good stuff. Black Orcs are going to be detaching to deal with them. But so far, so good. These summons very, very powerful. Romulan Dog and Dov able to get a really good engagement here. And you can see the Khemrian War Sphinx is trying to get in there and do some work as well. But so far, the Greenskins, of course, the front line is pretty much a complete monster mash. Black Orcs and company doing very well. Some Goblins in the back going to be fighting Deckhand mobs. And the Warboss and company able to finish off Skeleton Warriors. But the back line is absolute anarchy. Those damn Knight Errants and some of the other summoned units of the Undead Army is going to be pressuring the back line pretty heavily. Forest Goblin Spider Riders and Archers scattering in every which direction. And you can also see an overcasted Doom and Darkness going down from Romulan Dog, which is going to do a very good job kind of routing off a lot of these Greenskins. Yeah, you can see the Goblin Shamans and everyone are in pretty bad shape, but Ark in the Black is nearly dead. He's very low, and you can see that Wurzog back here actually gets caught up, and he is in a dangerous situation, guys. So the Khemrian War Sphinx is going to be dogpiling in, and we're going to see if Wurzog can stabilize. I mean, he does have some Black Orcs supporting. The Black Orcs eventually will work through these numbers, and the Screaming Meme Catapult, it looks like it may have been compromised. So yeah, it looks like Nasty Skulkers and Goblin Riders have gotten back here, and this Catapult is definitely not long for this Earth. So the bounce power is still relatively even, but Orc Warboss for Exploding Hamster is going to be fighting in the pits with some Black Orcs. Black Orcs aren't bad against Constructs, but Solastra is up on the Crab Beast, and she is just going to be crab slapping these guys and having a good old time. So that's definitely tough. I mean, there are a lot of big angry targets here on this list. I mean, they have the Sphinx, they have this angry Crab. I mean, there are some big threats here for the Greenskins to try and drag down. And the Archers are definitely one of their main tools for doing it. And you can see the Night Goblin Archers and some of the reinforcements here in the back are just being run down by the Deck Droppers as well as those damn Knight Errants, those damned Knight Errants. Over here, you can see that there is a bit of a duel. So it looks like Wurzog is going to be dropping the effigy of the Get here. And there is going to be a missile attack coming out from this Night Goblin Shaman on Arkin. And Arkin might actually go down here. So here comes Arkin, gets blasted in the face. And oh, is this little goblin going to be... They say that a hero can save us. And Arkin the Black is very low. 100 HP. Oh man, he is tanking quick. He's probably going to go down here. He's trying to flee back. Invocation of the Heck might be able to save him, but I don't think it's going to go off. Oh, and he stabilizes. He's at 60 HP. He is so damn close to going down, but the bounce of power is slipping away and away from the forces of the Waaagh. The Greenskin Horde getting a little bit beat up here, and you can see Solastra is just having a field day. But remember, a lot of this army that you guys see here for the Vampire Coast and the Tomb Kings is actually fake. It's just summoned units, right? You have crabs, you have Deckhand mobs summoned everywhere. So if the Waaagh can maybe stabilize on a couple fronts, but I don't think so. You can see Wurzog here is just getting punished. And the Orc Warboss, doing his thing. But Invocation of Nehet can actually heal the undead, right? So, essentially this game is like the double Waaagh going up against, like, the combined forces of the undead with the healing and everything. And I think that's going to be it. I think with the Orc Warboss getting terrified and chased off here by Solastra, I mean, there still are some Greenskins fighting, and they've had some good engagements, but I think they just let their backline get pounded too badly. They committed way too much to the front line. The damn Knight Errants were able to just kind of go to town on those guys. But regardless, you can see here the Savage Orcs and the other guys are just laying a beat down on this Vampire Fleet Captain. They're just so tattered, and I don't know if they're going to be able to, pull things back here. Deck Droppers are doing a little bit of backline harass going after the Night Goblin Shamans. They're not the handgun variant, so they don't hit quite as hard, but nonetheless, they're doing the trick here. Ark in the Black has 90 HP, and here comes a missile attack. And Ark in the Black gets 360 no-scoped by those Goblin Shamans. Beautiful stuff. And I mean, maybe if the Greenskins can rally and salvage their lords, but Wurzog in the distance is shattered. You can see there are the Night Goblin Shamans here, who of course are going to be dropping some missile pressure, but I just don't think there's enough leadership left here for the Greenskins. I mean, the Orc Warboss is so beat up. Solastra is healthy. The Khemrian War Sphinx is pretty much full health. That is a lot of meat and potatoes to take down. So, yeah. That is going to be a lot of trouble for sure. So I don't know, guys. I think the Greenskin Wa has run out of steam here against the Foul Undead Hordes. Definitely a very powerful army. I think having Solastra plus the Vampire Captain plus Archon with all the summons is very good. And of course, Greenskins have one glaring weakness, and that's the problem of going just Greenskins. I mean, you get the benefit of the double Wa, but on that same note, Greenskins do struggle pretty heavily against like such monsters. So anyways, the Goblins and company are going to be fleeing. They're going to be getting chased off for the most part. I don't know if there's enough Greenskins left. Let's go ahead and take a big overhead view here, but yeah, there's a couple around the battlefield, but yeah, Cambrian War Sphinxes are so hard to kill. I mean, the Orc War Boss does have 1400 HP, so he's not out of the picture yet. Vampire Caster is chasing down this Night Goblin Shaman here on the far side, doing a pretty good job in that respect, chasing that bad boy off. Looks like another Goblin Missile. Going downtown, let's see how much damage it does, 1300, and wow! Did you guys see that? That did like 1,000 damage. That little Goblin Missile is no joke. Night Goblin Shaman coming in with the steel chair on that Vampire Caster, which is absolute insanity. Black Orc still fighting a little bit here to the bitter end, kind of fighting the big queen there. And it looks like the Warlords boys and some of the other lads are still kind of grinding it out, and they're able to get us around on the Skeleton Warrior. So, I mean, I guess at the core of things is the Orc War Boss coming back. Man, that's so unfortunate. The Orc War Boss getting chased off by the Deck Dropper. So very well played to Dog Plays and Romulan, making sure to chase this bad boy off. Because if he came back, I mean, maybe they could work out some magic. I mean, Solastra, of course, is... It seems the bounce of power or army loss is a little bit tougher in this format for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't proc as quickly, but yeah. That's pretty crazy stuff. There was a dwarf game earlier. We had the dwarves actually win. The Extreme Meme team brought the dwarves. And that's going to be army losses. So that's just game one. Remember, this is a best of 3 between these two teams. So currently, that's going to be game 1 for Romulan Dov. Team Romulan Dov. And the last of the goblins are going to be fighting to the bitter end. And yeah, look at these brave little lads just getting crab slapped by Solastra. Her Lady Thickness up there just doing her thing. Big Cambrian War Sphinx coming in with the claw. Yes. And that's it. That is it. Oh my goodness. What a battle. That was a fierce one. I actually thought the Wa might be able to just burn through that front line and focus down the Cambrian War Sphinxes, but I think there was a really couple of clutch plays. The Ark and the Black Summon from Romulan Dog in Dog. They timed it. It seemed that Romulan Dog sent in his skeleton summon to pincer them, and then the damned Knights Errants came in from the other side and just had a big collapse, and I think that honestly ended the game. Until then, I mean, had the missile units of the Greenskins been kept safe, I think they could have been in a little bit better shape, but with those circumstances being taken into account there, I don't think they had much of a chance. That's going to be game 1 for let's go ahead and get that, and let's get the correct scoreboard. Oh, bad. Romulan Dov, team 1, 1-0. Let's get Wookiee back up so the players can't snipe one another. I know they wouldn't, but, you know, it's just a precaution. And game 2. Here we go. Hey, you're welcome, Piotr. You wanted this 2v2? Cool. Yeah, that War Sphinx did work. That thing did so much work. And I see a couple donations on the PayPal, so thank you so much, Zachary Simpson, for the donation, as well as Constantine E. We got Jerben. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I see those coming through on the PayPal. They say that a War Sphinx can save us. Not gonna work. There's still some people holding out on the Christmas stream, I see. Oh my god. I'm so sorry if I'm missing anything on the Christmas stream, if like I can't. That's so haggard. Oh my god. Yeah, I read a couple 40k books. I read The Thousand Suns, I read Dark Imperium, Plague Wars, Horus Rising. I read a fair amount, like 4 or 5, yeah. Wookiee does cause terror. So, here we are in game 2, which appears to be a showdown. So I'll let him know. Start whenever ready. So, game 2 is going to be a showdown between Team Romulan Dov, who are going to be playing the Skaven and the Empire. So the most backwards of just unity. Doesn't make sense. And then we have the Bretonnians versus Warriors of the Bretonnians and the Warriors of Chaos teaming up. So this is going to be an interesting one. I have a feeling we might just see a ton of Cav and then heavy Chaos Infantry with like Kolek or something like that. That could be pretty damn nasty, but I wonder if Romulan's going to go with like a ton of artillery. This could be very interesting. Yeah. And also map. I'll let him know. Make sure they change the map up. All right, Misha. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Misha, if you could drop a link to the Discord for some of the folks who haven't gotten a chance to join up, that'd be great. Yes. Make sure to follow the rules. Of course, of Discord, Romulan Dov will win with the summons. Yeah, I mean, they did pretty good with the summons there, but I mean, obviously the Empire doesn't have any summons, so maybe Skaven are going to go. I mean, I think Skaven artillery with Empire State troops and just have that could work, maybe? I don't know. How do you best utilize the two strengths? I mean, because the thing is, the Empire does have very good artillery, right? Like, their cannons are quite good, but again, I think Skaven are a little bit more powerful, especially against these two factions. Like, if we saw like 2 Warp Lightning cannons out of the Skaven Empire team, that could be very strong. Especially if like Empire was defending them with cav and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so that's looking to be an interesting matchup we got here. We got a fierce one on our hands. Fierce one. You guys are gonna like Dov's pick too. Dov's Lord pick is very good. They say that a life mage with Radaggers. I mean, having healing for Skaven is definitely nice. I mean, one of the main tactics against Skaven is just to goon their lords out, right? So having that healing is going to be very good if Dov decides to go with that. But again, we could see the meme lord himself, Balthazar Gelt. There's so many different ways you can play this. I mean, or we could just see it like a Vermintide. We could just see like a massive horde of vermin and just stacked with state troops and just trying to overwhelm the Bretonnians and Chaos using the halberds and spears to fend off the heavy cav of these two factions. Could be so. And for anyone who's just joining, the rules essentially are it's a 2v2 tournament. There's no restrictions in terms of army picks, but they share a total funds of 12,400 between the two of them, which is one standard army and ladder or multiplayer, as you guys see it on my channel. So yeah, pretty damn fun. Oh, sweet Empire. So I'm trying to think of like a context in which this alliance could actually happen. So the Skaven have an undercity underneath an imperial city, right? Let's just say whatever. It could be any Ubersreich, whatever. It could be Nuln, doesn't matter. So the Skaven have an undercity that they want to, they have grand machinations under it. They have some sort of great creation or invention they're working on. And then all of a sudden, the Bretonnians and Chaos come from 2 directions, both wanting to take the city. The Bretonnians for one purpose, Chaos for another. And the Skaven are like, hey, dudes, we like living in your sewers. You want to team up and fight off this threat. I think it works. I don't know. I'm trying here. That would be the one scenario in which the Skaven might like emerge and help like a beleaguered Empire army because they want to keep that undercity, right? Because if the city is like burned and razed by Chaos, and maybe they're going to get like trapped under, or the sewers will be like, something will happen to them, right? If everything collapses in on their undercity. I don't know. Yeah, Italian Spartacus plays a halfling in our roleplay that we're doing. Yeah. Under Altdorf? They're just clearly ugly hooded people. I mean, that could happen, right? Like the Skaven either face their doom, but they have something valuable there. They don't want to leave, right? So they're like, the Empire's like fighting off, for some godforsaken reason, Chaos corrupted Bretonnians. And then, the rats come out to help and start prison shanking the attackers. I don't know. I think, I'm pretty sure Warhammer 3 is going to be, Chaos focused. It's going to be like having some sort of a focus on Chaos. So I don't know if it'll be explicitly the end times, because in Warhammer 3, you obviously create your own narrative, right? Like, it doesn't have to be the end times. You can save the world. So it's just going to be like, it's not going to... That's just my guess. The dog is a screen blocker, so we have him there so the players can't see, like... So, for example, if Zardar or Exploding Hamster accidentally opens my stream to just chat with you guys or something, they don't accidentally see the opponent's army. So it's just to make sure that it's safe. I turn it off when the game starts, so that's how that works. Yeah. There is an actual under Altdorf Skaven city and lore. Okay. Yeah. I mean, but what if there was a scenario in which if Chaos raised the city, then the city might collapse on them, right? Like, or it might like trap the Skaven or something. Like, it might have some detrimental effect. I don't know if it really would. It probably wouldn't because they're so deep under the city. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of an environment, so. Chaos Corrupted Bretonnians, yes. I bet you there will be Ogre Kingdoms in Game 3. I bet you there will be. We'll probably get, like, I don't know, Chaos Dwarves, Ogre Kingdoms, some Chaos Demons. I have no idea. Have I ever? I played against Heir of Carthage a couple times on ladder, but I've never like met outside of that and played with him. Yeah. Yeah. So. Oh, I mean, the bracket for today. Whoever wins this is going to be going on to face the Extreme Meme team. This was a bit last minute. I just decided to do it like last night, basically, so I didn't like have time to prepare a bunch of assets and whatnot. But yeah, so here we go. It's go time. Both armies are ready. The players have gotten their picks together, and we are. And here we go. It is showtime. It is showtime, my brothers. Let's have some fun. I need to get some water. Jason, thank you for, I believe, another donation coming in hot. So Jason Denny, wow. Okay, Jason. So Jason just came in with a $100 donation on PayPal. So Jason coming in with the figurative and literal steel chair there. PayPal. So Jason, thank you so much for the generous New Year's donation, man. I'll make sure to take Lady Turin out to a nice seafood dinner or something. I don't even know if she likes seafood. Regardless, thank you so much. My goodness. The Extreme Meme team is Professor Pipes and Black Phillip. Jason, man, thank you so much, dude, for that very generous donation. Let's hear it. Get a big round of applause for Jason. Man, that is huge. What do you call Satan when he's broke? Demonetization. I like that. Jason going hard in the paint. Wow. Thank you, man. Base Jason. All right, guys. Well, hopefully, Jason, this game will be entertaining enough for you here. We do have a showdown between the Empire and the Skaven rushing out to protect their city together, because technically they do often share a city. Here we also have the Warriors of Chaos teaming up with the Bretonnians, and let's go ahead and take a look at the Empire army, Skaven army. So, for the Empire, we do have the Meme Lord himself, Balthazar Gelt, who's going to be teaming up with What Foul Skaven Warlord. So for the Skaven, we do have Lord Skrulk over there, pretty standard stuff. So we got Final Transmutation. Skrulk, of course, has the summons. So Pestilent Rebirth, as well as the Plague Monk summon, which is going to be good, or Vermintide, I should say. Front line's going to be State Troops. We got some Skaven Slave Spears. We do have a Doom Wheel. So the Doom Wheel is going to be the big play from the Skaven. Doom Wheel plus a Warp Lightning Cannon. Okay. Is that 2 Warp Lightning Cannons? Yeah. So basically the Skaven contribution is double Warp Lightning Cannons, as well as the Doom Wheel and Skrulk. The rest is just chaff, basically. For the Empire army, we have a State Troop front line. We do also have Balthazar Gelt. We have a Jade Wizard with Earthblood, which is going to be great. And we also have a Temple Meme Luminarch. So an absolutely absurd team here, but there's a lot of stopping power. You're going to be getting Warp Lightning Cannons as well as the Temple Meme Luminarch just shooting in and sniping things out, which is going to be insane. So yeah, guys, great armies here. I'm loving that army. And for the forces of Article 13, Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War, looks like in the front line we have Peasant Mobs. On top of that, we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and it looks like there's also going to be Archaon the Ever-Chosen coming in. So we do have the Ever-Chosen himself coming in with the Fireball and the Crown of Domination to give that immunity to psychology to nearby troops. Oh man, this is so awesome. You know, Zardar really going in for the people here. And for the Bretonnian leadership, we have the Fey Enchantress. So the Fey Enchantress, the most heretical of situations, is going to be healing Archaon the Ever-Chosen. On top of that, we have the Knights Errants, Knights of the Realm, and some Hounds over here, which are going to be great. That is pretty much it. So man, I actually think this Chaos army is going to like march over this force. I don't know. I mean, there is a Doom Wheel, but Archaon with heals seems pretty nasty for sure. Start anytime. All right. Here we go. Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Oh. Man. Stretching out those shoulders. I am as stiff as a brick. Chaos Corrupted Bretonnians versus Skaven manipulated by Empire. I don't know. I mean, I would say that I think my narrative was pretty good for the battle. Like, you have the Empire just like their city is about to fall to the Chaos Corrupted Bretonnians, and then the Skaven are like, hey, we live here too, and they come out from the sewers to join the Empire ranks. That would be a really weird situation. Anyways, the battle's underway. Warp Lightning Cannons are probably pretty much in range already, so they're going to start shooting in. Probably going to go after Chaos Warriors at first, and then when the Knights of the Lionhearted and the Heavy Bretonnian Cav Knights of the Realm get in the range, they're going to probably start shooting at those. So right away, the cannons are shooting in. They get a couple kills off these Chaos Warriors. Looks like some of them were roasted by that foul Skaven Warp Lightning. Doomwheel might surge forward, but the Bretonnian's hiding in the trees for the most part, but the Hounds are coming out. So the Hound play is going to be huge. If you can get those Hounds onto the Warp Lightning cannons, that's going to be pretty game-breaking. But what's really cool about Chaos is they don't necessarily have to worry about really nasty focus fire on their lords because of having the healing of the Fey Enchantress. So normally if the Temple off Luminarch were to snipe Archaon, it would be like, oh god, I'm going to lose the game, this sucks, like he's dying quick. But now there's Regrowths, there's Earthbloods, Archaon the Everchosen is going to be pretty stalwart here. So the front line of the Bretonnians are going to be moving forward, peasant mobs, all these guys are ready to party, and here it goes. So yeah, Warp Lightnings are going to be shooting in. It's a couple clean shots here in the Knights Errants, takes out a couple models there, and the Knights Errants probably going to be pushing this flank, trying to bum rush through the Skaven Slaves, I would imagine. But the Chaos Infantry are moving forward, the Warhounds are moving in as well. Doomwheel's going to be bro charging as well, but the Rats, where are the doggies going? Are the dogs going after the Doomwheel? It looks like they are. So peasants are going to be fighting these Skaven Slaves. The pinnacle of the Warhammer universe. This is how it should have been from the start. The Skaven Slaves and the peasants meet in the middle. I wonder who would actually win that. I don't know who would win that. That's a very interesting matchup there. The Chaos Warriors are going to be piling in. Some Hounds trying to slip through the back, but Romulan Dog with a very nice summon, but alas, it was just a second too late, and it looks like the Poison Warhounds are going to be getting on the Temple Meme Luminarch. Dov plays need to run right now. He needs to get out of here. It looks like he might be dropping a net, but oh man, Dov, do not let this go down here. So Dov plays, has the Temple off Luminarch on the flank. He's going to be falling back. He gets a net, it looks like, at the last second, and he does have some spears back here. So Romulan is going to be moving in his spears as well. The Warp Lightning Cannon is shooting in, and it looks like Dov might be safe for now. So the spears are going to fend off the Bretonnian Knights no problem. Very good net from him, so he is able to stabilize that situation. In the front line, the Warriors of Chaos, of course, are cleaving the Skaven to pieces. The Skaven Slaves are being cut apart by the Chaos Warriors. Archaon the Everchosen looks like he's on a bit of a mission with his shield up, looking for some juicy targets in the back, and he drops a huge fireball going downtown, which is probably going to be going after the Doomwheel. So let's see the damage it does. And it looks like it's a little bit of a hit, didn't do the most damage, but nonetheless, Romulan Dog continuing to buffer his back line here is going to be summoning some rats to intercept these Chaos Warriors who are trying to get back to the artillery piece. But those Plague Monks are going to be able to fight, obviously going to lose the Chaos Warriors, but they will be able to hold. So the back line is intact for the most part. Warp Lightning Cannons are still shooting. State troops over here are going to be engaging with Chaos Warriors, which is never the best situation. Archaon has taken a little bit of a beating. It looks like Libra Bubonicus might have gone down from Skrulk, which probably popped him in the dome a little bit. The Warriors of Chaos, the inexorable tide, is going to be moving forward, and there are some Skaven elements, the summon troops for the most part, but yeah, it looks like the forces of Chaos, as well as the Bretonnians, look to be kind of just pushing forward and grinding down this army. So the Chaos and Bretonnians almost back to the Warp Lightning Cannons. The Skaven reserves are now being pulled forward, so the Clan Rats with Spears are going to be intercepting here. A nice cav charge coming in from the Exploding Hamster in the back to hit those guys, those Plague Monks there, but nonetheless, the Skaven and Empire State troops are holding to the bitter end. The Fey Enchantress has gotten into the back, and it's going to be fighting Balthazar Gelt. So we do have a wizard duel here in the back. Fey Enchantress would probably win that duel, probably with her debuffs and different abilities here. But the corrupted Bretonnians do get into the back line and crush those Skaven slaves. Warp Lightning Cannon is pretty much 100% buttered up now, and Archaon is just coming in so angry. Lord of the End Times coming in. He's tired of being made fun of, and these Hounds are going to be attacking these Skaven slaves who are manning this artillery equipment. So I think this is going to be game 2, probably to Zardar Total War and the Warriors of Chaos, maybe? I mean, I don't know. Chaos is actually looking a little bit tattered in the front line right now. Yeah, maybe I just was not taking note of everything else that was going on in the battlefield. So the Supreme Meme Lord gets barely just MLG dodges that fireball. Dov plays with a beautiful net right there on the Knights of the Lionhearted. And suddenly it's looking like the Skaven and the Empire might be able to hold here. Chaos is getting a little bit tattered up. I mean, the Bretonnians for the Exploding Hamster. Let's take a look around the battlefield. So he does have the... Man, I really thought that was over when they got in the back line, but there are some Knights for the Exploding Hamster over here. There's Peasants and some supporting elements, but yeah, it looks like the Hounds have gotten onto the Warp Lightning Cannon here, and they are chewing this bad boy up. Balthazar is still pretty damn close. I mean, Archaon, unfortunately for him, is on foot, and you can see he's going to be waddling after Skrulk, which is tough. 33 speed against 42. Oh man, but that is a bold strategy, Dov. Dov is actually going in with Balthazar Gelt, and you can see the Fey Enchantress comes in. This might actually be what the Article 13 needs to get back in the game. Balthazar Gelt being dehorsed by Archaon the Everchosen. Man, just cleaved. That was just pure nastiness. And Romulan Dog is going to be summoning some Plague Monks to kind of help take out Archaon. Libra Bubonicus going down as well, but Balthazar Gelt, a little bit overconfident there, goes in and gets murdered horribly by Archaon the Everchosen. But if we look around the battlefield, Chaos actually a little bit beat up at this point. The Chaos Warriors everywhere are pretty much dead. Over here, there are some Chaos Warriors with the Flaming Sword of Ruin, who might be able to do some pretty good work, but they are going to be taking a fat Doomwheel to the back. So Archaon coming in with the Steel Chair, doing great work, but look at this Skaven Doomwheel is just going to annihilate these guys. Doomwheels are pretty much designed to kill these type of infantry. You can see they're shaken. The state troops and literally a tide, a vermin tide, a man and vermin tide teaming up here. Archaon's going to be coming in. He's probably pretty pissed off, but alas, there's not much he's going to be able to do. I think he's just going to get blasted by the Luminarch. Exploding Hamster, though, coming in, trying to finish off the Luminarch, which is a really good choice. He's going in with the Fey Enchantress and his Knights, but you can see Dov is able to protect it with some Knights, and also Romulan Dog is able to assist him in that endeavor there. So, Knights of the Realm and all these other troops are going to be collapsing back here in the Warp Lightning Cannon. So very good grab here by Exploding Hamster. He's able to get back onto the cannon and probably finish this bad boy off once and for all. But the Skaven still have a Doom Wheel. Archaon is able to rally his Chaos Warriors over there with the Crown of Domination. But there still is another Warp Lightning Cannon pretty much fully operational over here. And the Temple Meme Luminarch is online as well. So let's go ahead and watch this for a minute, see what it's shooting at. I would imagine it's going after like Archaon or something, but the Fey Enchantress coming in. She might be able to finish this off, or at least chase it off the battlefield. It has pretty much no defensive stats. It has 13 melee defense, so Fey Enchantress can definitely do some work. And Archaon is actually putting a little bit of hurt on that Doom Wheel over there, but the Spears of the Empire are going to be rushing forward to intercept the Fey Enchantress. And it looks like there's going to be another Fireball coming in from Archaon. You can see he's shooting it from downtown. Going to be going after the Temple of Luminarch, but it looks like he might have gotten obstructed or something. Knights of the Realm are going to be charging in a last desperate charge right here coming in, and it looks like a Chalice of Potions goes down and blasts a Spearman into another dimension, so pretty good stuff there. And also the, Lord Skrulk's still alive though. We can't forget about the Rat Lord himself, so he's going to be engaging these Chaos Warriors. And I don't know if Archaon's going to be able to pull this one out. I mean, he's pretty much alone. His Chaos Warriors are just being shanked into another dimension by all these filthy rats here. Archaon's going to be charging in, and the Temple of Luminarch is going. Oh, and it hits Archaon right in the face. Nastiness. Regrowth does get off on Archaon before all is said and done, and the Fey Enchantress is still here, so maybe Fey Enchantress and Archaon could make a bit of a last stand, but for the most part, it looks like these Skaven and Empire do not want to lose their city to these Chaos Corrupted Bretonnians. But man, Archaon doing so much work this game. He actually, is he going to get it? Man, Archaon actually hit it there and almost killed it. And he might be able to catch it, but I think the Doom Wheel is going to come in and intercept, so Archaon is going to get run over by the Doom Wheel. He gets pushed away. And Archaon sees it escape. He reaches with his armored gauntlet as the vehicle runs away from his sight, and then the hordes of rats and Empire State troops are going to be collapsing in. And but a fireball coming in. Is the fireball going to finish it? And the fireball does finish it. And suddenly the bounce of power is looking closer and closer. Can Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War pull this game back? Maybe. That would be absolutely insane. So the Jade Wizard here is very low. Archaon with the Angle of Pursuit is trying to get him, but it looks like he might be able to squeak away. Fey Enchantress is hot in pursuit. And it looks like there was some friendly fire. The Warp Lightning Cannon actually did hit the Jade Wizard. Fey Enchantress trying to head it off, but Skrulk Daddy is coming in. And Skrulk might be able to help with the summons. We'll see. Fey Enchantress is in trouble. The Fey Enchantress gets caught up in the middle of that rat summon. The Jade Wizard actually does break off the battlefield. Fey Enchantress with the Draining Aura doing some pretty good work. And guys, the Warp Lightning Cannon is out of ammunition. So Archaon and the Fey Enchantress are going to be standing shoulder to shoulder. There are some Hounds left for the Warriors of Chaos, which are being chased down by this Doom Wheel. I just don't think the Doom Wheel can be dealt with. And Skrulk is pretty powerful in melee as well. But Archaon here, is he going to be dropping some magic? Looks like an Awakening of the Wood from the Fey Enchantress is going to be hitting some of those troops. Because, yeah, at this point, there's no more healing for Archaon. He has 2,000 HP, which is quite a bit. But he's going to be going for Skrulk Daddy. And obviously, Romulan Dog is not going to have any of that. Archaon, the Lord of the End Times, is going to be dismantled by a Doom Wheel and run over here. He gets back up in a frenzy, but the Swordsmen are going to attack him. He's probably going to be cleaving some of those guys. But Chaos Warriors rushing in. And yeah, I don't know. There's not much left for Chaos. Over here, you can see the Fey Enchantress for the Exploding Hamster is going to be chasing off the Jade Wizard, which is a pretty good catch. You guys will notice that when the Jade Wizard does break off the battlefield, it's actually going to probably be helpful in normalizing the bounce of power a little bit. But yeah, the Archaon just stands alone. But thankfully, Archaon does have the Crown of Domination. He's pretty damn tanky. He's able to really spank a lot of these guys. But Skrulk's coming in. This could be it. Archaon versus Skrulk. So Archaon has his 1900 HP. He needs to turn and focus down Skrulk. This is extremely important. He's able to get Skrulk and just lay a whooping on the rat. I mean, that could get them back in the game for sure. So the rat takes a single blow from Archaon's blade and is going to be running. Doom Wheel coming back in is going to be running over Archaon yet again. It's a little bit of damage and kind of shoves him away from all those state troops. And yeah, but I mean, there's so many forces left for the Empire and the Skaven over here. But the cannon's offline. It's mostly just spearmen. So, I mean, if the Doom Wheel and Skrull can... This is crazy. This game is absolute insanity. Archaon is protecting his waifu. Oh my god. I suppose so. So the Fey Enchantress and Archaon teaming up to kind of finish off these troops if they can. I mean, Lord Skrulk is still alive, but Skrulk is going to get whooped on by Archaon in a duel. But the Doom Wheel is really the big issue, I think. So the Fey Enchantress is going to be going in. She does have that draining effect, so Skaven Slaves and low-tier troops are going to run extremely quickly due to the damage as well as her just power level. Archaon's going to be fighting Skrulk. I think this is going to be like the battle to determine the fate of Middle-earth here, as Skrulk does come in and quickly runs away as Archaon gets a huge blow on him. I mean, Archaon is one of the strongest duelists in the entire game. He has 70, 60, and 470 with just insane stats. And it looks like he does have he does not have the Slayer of Kings, but he has the Crown of Domination. So Fey Enchantress coming in, getting her Mortis Engine effect, but if the Fey Enchantress gets trapped and killed by like spears and whatnot, oh my god, look at this blob. So the Vermintide of the Empire and the Skaven is going to be collapsing inward, and Archaon and the Fey Enchantress are fighting back to back against this horde. She really needs to be fighting to make sure that her Mortis Engine effect is going off here. I don't know if it is. Actually, it looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like the Mortis Engine effect is taking off here. So Archaon is just waddling through the ranks, making sure Skrulk doesn't hit the Fey Enchantress. Fey Enchantress with the Drain. The Doom Wheel is going to be cycle charging back in. And it looks like Archaon's getting a little bit low. Standard Die has been popped. He's at 1400 HP. Fey Enchantress is draining a lot of these troops. And you can see these Skaven are going to be the first to run, of course. But the Empire State troops are also wavering. Archaon does cause fear, and obviously he's very intimidating in here, but the Doom Wheel coming back in and just running down Archaon over and over. But he's at 1400 HP, which is just insane. And we're going to see if the Lord of the End Times and the Fey Enchantress can fight to the bitter end here. I am not sure. It looks like Big Daddy Lord Skrulk. Oh man, he's going to be waddling away. And Fey Enchantress, are they going to be able to pull this out? That's insane. The Mortis Engine effect of the Fey Enchantress and Archaon's just pure raw intimidation in battle is able to force back a lot of these troops. But the Doom Wheel coming in over and over, Archaon is getting a little bit worn down. But if he can get 1 or 2 blows on Skrulk, maybe. And if the Mortis Engine can clear out all these state troops, oh no, but it looks like another rat summon's going to be coming in from Lord Skrulk. So there's going to be even more rats. The Vermintide grows in numbers. We just have such an insane battle here, guys. This is just nuts. And the winner of this will be going on to face the... Oh, but the Fey Enchantress comes in with a Awakening of the Wood, which decimates those state troops, sends them running, and now Archaon is going to be attacking the Doom Wheel, and he hits it very hard right there, guys. So Zardar Total War is shaken. He's at 1420 leadership. He's very low. Fey Enchantress is getting low as well, and Arcane Conduit is doing everything it can, but I don't know. I think Skrulk is too healthy, guys. Oh, man, what a way to go out for Zardar and Exploding Hamster, though. This has been a very legendary game. Here we have another AoE going down. Fey Enchantress maybe going to be dropping something. Favor of the Fey going down on Archaon. Who would have ever thought that the Lord of the End Times would get the Favor of the Fey? But anyways, oh, Lord Skrulk just gets slapped up. Lord Skrulk takes a massive amount of damage from Archaon, and he's able to stabilize a little bit. Skrulk is actually shaken. The state troops are looking very tattered, and the Doom Wheel is pretty beat up as well. So, oh man, but look, there's a full health group of swordsmen over there. That's actually going to be a little bit tough for sure. So Fey Enchantress drained, doing pretty good. Skaven slaves and state troops are getting drained down. Archaon does get ramrodded again by the Doom Wheel, but the Favor of the Fey and Standard Die is kind of keeping him alive, which is just nuts. The Fey Enchantress, oh yeah, Skrulk is coming in to get the Fey Enchantress. If she goes down, I think that's going to be it. So Fey Enchantress here is confident, 1000 HP, she's in pretty good shape. Archaon is probably going to waddle forward. Oh man, and Skrulk is in trouble. Skrulk is in trouble, guys. Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, with his pretty big mass, is able to move through the ranks. The Mortis Engine effect, oh my god, and the Temple of Luminarch's corpse is right here. Fireball going in, it actually hits the Doom Wheel. Fey Enchantress is still going 900 HP on both of them, and all these supporting elements are starting to crumble. Archaon fighting back-to-back with the Fey Enchantress. That is nuts. And now that all that's left are just trash, basically, just Skaven slaves and just chaff. Oh my god. And Skrulk is like scurrying around in the distance. Look at him. Oh my god. Skrulk is just like like shambling around in the shadows. So now the brave swordsmen of the Empire are going to be pushing in, and these guys are probably not happy about having to fight the Lord of the End Times. He's down to about 866 HP. He gets run over again by the Doom Wheel. And the Fey Enchantress, where is she? Fey Enchantress is over here. Okay, but she's shaken. She's at 600 HP. She charges in. The Mortis Engine effect is going to be popping off here, routing a lot of these guys. 800 HP. Archaon needs to turn and hit this Doom Wheel. He needs to hit that Doom Wheel. Oh, but Romulan Dog coming in with Skrulk. Skrulk coming in as well with his club. Archaon gets knocked over. The Fey Enchantress a little bit isolated here, but is she still going? The Fey Enchantress is still going strong. We're going to see if Archaon can do it, but it looks like the bounce of power is shifting. Army losses are triggered, and Archaon is too low. And that's going to be it. Wow. Wow, what a game. What a game, guys. That was insane. So very well played. And also big thanks for Melancholic Watermelon. Thanks for the stream. Happy New Year to you too, man. Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up when my hand doesn't hurt so bad. Yeah, no problem. Happy New Year, Turin. Love your commentary videos. Do you have a favorite Empire state? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about the respective states, but man, what a game between those two teams. I mean, Romulan Dov are going to take that 2-0, and that's going to be them moving on to the finals, but let's hear a big round of applause for Zardar Total War and Exploding Hamster. And if you guys haven't seen their channels, make sure to go check them out. Those guys are both awesome. So, wow. What a game there. Amazing game. Yeah, GG. That was a crazy one. All right, so let's see here. So, let's get finals set up. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick intermission, and we'll be back for the best of 5 finals. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this so far. So it definitely seemed like a pretty fun format to me. So, guys, we'll be right back, and thank you guys so much.
Yeah. What's up,
Hey,
man?
how's it going?
Cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Couldn't believe how long Arcane and the Fae lasted at the end. Yeah, man, I really did too.
And
I knew that if I was sloppy with Stroke and they killed Stroke somehow, they definitely would have just shattered everything, but... Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, man, absolutely. And yeah, thank you again. See you soon.
see you in a sec.
All right, guys, we're here in the finals. Yeah, I just saw that you guys heard. I just was going to tell Dov and Romulan Dog to get into the other lobby, but here we are in the grand finals. That was a madhouse indeed. So we have a showdown between, let's go ahead and fix the scorecards first and foremost. And this is a best of 5. So we have Team Romulan Dov taking on, it's going to be the Extreme Meme team. So we're just going to put XMT for them. And I'm excited to see what these guys are going to be bringing. So go ahead and get Wookiee up. He's good to block. I can just kind of sit and enjoy the company here. Ban them until the head voices stop. Yeah, that was a really amazing game. So big props to Zardar and Exploding Hamster. That was nuts. Yes. Yes. Good, Anakin. Good. Also, guys, I forgot to mention. Let me make sure the stream quality is good and everything. Extreme Meme Team, yes. And it looks like it's going to be... are Dov and Romulan going with the same build? Faye and Archon fighting back-to-back. Better love story than Twilight. Yeah. Pretty good. All right, here we go. Good, Romulan Dov. There you go. But yeah, I also forgot to mention there is a $50 prize pool for first place. I don't know if I've even told the contestants yet, but... Yeah, the winning team is going to get $50. It's just, a quick little fun tournament, but make it worth their Sunday afternoon or the hour that they spend or so. So $50 prize pool for first place here. It's going to be good. We're going to see. So there are no rules really in this 2v2 tournament. It's kind of like just the Wild West. So to answer your question. Yeah. Yeah, the 2v2s are very fun. I agree. I'll be doing it more often. The Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals are going to be happening probably in the end of January, probably like first week of February. Yeah, so first week of February. So I'm currently working on securing sponsors and other things for that to make the prize pool nice and juicy. So that'll be going on then. But until then, there's going to be like streams like this, like 2v2 kind of off the cuff tournaments and stuff. So yeah. Oh, the dog is just to block the armies. So unfortunately, Luke, we have him to block the armies in case one of the other players looks at the stream. The problem then being is that they can see the army that their opponent's picking. So right now I'm able to see Professor Pipe's army, right? So if Dov or Romulan accidentally open the stream, they're both great people, so they wouldn't do it. But just as a precaution, they could then see what their opponents are bringing and counterpick them. So Nathan Hewitt, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. You like the combos? I know the small scale is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and if you guys ever want to play in 2v2 tournaments, you just got to join the Discord. that Misha has been dropping links to, and from there just shoot me a message. But of course, you need to have some experience with multiplayer and also good internet connections and no lag, because in 2v2's lag is like the most miserable thing on the planet. But if you have some multiplayer experience and you know can hang with the people that you're seeing here on stream, just send me your name, your teammate's name, and the team name, and then I'll you know, once there is an opening, I'll invite you and your team to the 2v2 Discord. This is a best of 5. Let me let them know. It's BO5, by the way. So what's the first one? Oh, are they looking for the first map? Oh, let me get them that. Second, guys. Pulling up to get them the maps. We're on the outskirts for the first map. And those are the maps. You guys want to see Wookiee? I think he's clawing at the door. All right, 1 second, guys. I will get Wookiee so you guys can say hi to him. Hopefully he won't shit on me again. He actually did that on one of my Magic streams I had like 3 weeks ago. Wookiee shat on me, like mid-stream. I was holding him like this so you guys could only see his face, but he actually shat like on me. It was pretty gross. You guys want to see this little nurgling? Here he is. This is Wookiee. He's my nurgling. He's an old buddy. He's probably like 12 years old. He's getting up there, and he doesn't have any teeth anymore, but he's a good friend. He's a good friend for sure. See here. Same guys. There's the Wookiee. Good little buddy. Yeah. All right. Wookiee's going. He's going away right now. We're just gonna put him in the corner. Go if you want to sit there. That's fine. Don't come coming over here though. Oh man, I totally forgot about the stream for a second. So we have the Greenskins and the Bretonnians taking on the Chaos and the High Elves. So, yeah, Wookiee's old. He's like 12 or 13. So basically the story goes that we rescued Wookiee from a shelter. They probably would have put him down eventually. I mean, it was one of those kind of shelters, unfortunately. And we rescued him, man, what was it, like 9 years ago in 2010? Well, give or take 9 years ago. And and when we rescued him, like, oh yeah, this we actually saw him online, and we're like I'm like, oh, that I got it. Like, I'm one of those people that loves ugly dogs, you know, because like nobody, like everybody wants like the really good looking German Shepherd or like the Labrador. Like very few people rescue toothless creatures like this with bad attitudes, at least as I've seen. So I was like, I want that one. Like, he's my creature. So we ordered him. They're like, yeah, we didn't order him, but we basically called him. We're like, hey, we're going to come get him. Like, yeah, he's like 2 years old. We're like, oh, great. And then we get there and he's like so decrepit. So I'm pretty sure when we rescued him, he was already like 5 or 6. And he was in pretty poor health, but we nursed him back to health. He's doing very well now. He put on all his weight. He was missing most of his teeth by the time we got him. They were all rotting because of neglect. But he's very happy now. Him and Anna are like best friends. Yeah. Anyways, that's the story of Wookiee. And he's been my loyal sidekick ever since. You guys might hear him causing a commotion in the back there. Hey, Alexander Haley, thank you for the donation. I will keep it up. I love ugly dogs. Ugly dogs just like call to me. I don't know why. Like, Anna and I saw a couple bulldogs. Oh my god, it was great. Wookiee? I don't know why he came back here. Usually he hangs out with Anna in the front. Maybe Anna and our other dog were giving Wookiee trouble. Yeah, Wookiee was being neglected for sure when we rescued him. Like, the shelter was not taking good care of him. And when we got him, we had to get most of his teeth pulled. You He was like way super underweight, so we like fed him up, and now he's a fat Christmas ham. He's literally sitting under the bed, and what he does is he grabs our Wookiee grabs our laundry that slips off shelves and things, and he drags it under the bed, and he makes a literal rat's nest under our bed. Wookiee, what do you have to say for yourself? Like, I see him dragging one of my t-shirts under the bed right now. I don't know how it got on the floor. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, as far as this matchup goes, it's going to be pretty fun. Greenskin infantry probably with Bretonnian cav. But I would actually like to see some people like, you know, a little bit of a change of expectations. Like see like a massive horde of like peasants like in a massive tide and just like this, whoa, like peasant horde. That'd be pretty cool. Richie Monkey, thank you for the donation, man. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Really appreciate the 10, man. Oh, I think Anna is listening to some music he doesn't like. That's probably why he shambled back here. I'm not sure. Wookie, do you like Florence and the Machine? I think that's what she's listening to. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Oh, yeah. So it looks like Dog Plays and Romulan Dog are perhaps ready. The Extreme Meme team, of course. And the thing is, in the best of 5, like you see your opponent, so there's going to be a little bit of a longer picking process, which is fine because I actually like just sitting and talking to you guys. It's pretty fun. One of my favorite things I look forward to. I mean, that's honestly, I love streaming just to sit and chat with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I know how that t-shirt got on the floor. That's what she said. Wookie, do you want to come say hi again? You want to come over here? Wookie? You need to go outside? I wish I could like show you guys where he is right now. Like the webcam wouldn't reach. He's like literally has made a rat's nest. He's dragged like 3 or 4 like pieces of clothing and made a pile under the bed. Luke, if this bothers you, like waiting for a game to start, like man, I can only imagine how much campaign bothers you. Talk about setup. It's really not that bad. I mean, honestly, it makes for great gameplay. And Luke, if you don't want to wait too, you can also just come back later and I'll have all the battles timestamped so you can just jump to them. You don't have to wait. So no, 2v2 is like so unbalanced. It's too hard to balance that there's not going to be any stringent rules. I mean, there could be things like, look, if we wanted to make this like a league and get super crazy about it, we could, which I will someday. That's actually what I'm like trying this out for because eventually I want to do a 2v2 league, just like the ESL, but with 2v2. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So yeah, good looking. Oh, this army is straight business. Oh my god. So for the armies of, let me make sure I got the block. Lady Turn and I have been together a few years. Yeah, a couple of years. 2 years, I think, give or take, 2.5 years. She's the love of my life. Lady Turn is the best. I'm a lucky man. All right, so here for the armies, it looks like for Romulan Dog and Dov plays, so Romulan Dov, there's going to be the Fey Enchantress, obviously a very big power player here in these tournaments, providing healing to factions that don't have healing. And Grail Knights, Knights Errants, Grail Knights, and Knights Errants. Wow. So Grail Knights mixed with Knight Errants is going to be this is just a straight business Bretonnian force. There is no fringe here. This is perfect. And for the forces of the Greenskins, guess what? We got the infantry covered. Let's just bring 4 Black Orcs. So 4 Black Orcs, Nasty Skulkers. We got a Goblin Great Shaman here for Dov. Oh my god, look at the Goblin Great Shaman. He's riding a wolf! He's riding a wolf! He's just going to be zipping around the battlefield. Oh my god, this is going to be great. And for the forces of the Extreme Meme team, we have Kolek Suneater. Ooh, man, that is nasty, guys. I don't know how they're going to do this. Because Kolek with the healing from Ilariel is going to be like an unholy force of nature. Like, Kolek is already one of the hardest things in the game to kill, with almost 7,000 HP. And with Heart of Averlorn plus the Earthblood, do not sign me up for this. On top of that, we have a Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death, and we have a Shaggot. Cool. Spearman here, and for the other forces, we got Silver Helms, and we got some more Reavers. Interesting army. Interesting army here, guys. This is gonna be crazy. I don't know how this is gonna go. Start anytime. I just can't even type. My right hand's so messed up. By the Emperor. It's interesting when you look at. So somebody asked earlier, like, if you look at Warhammer 40k, I don't really like the Imperium. Like, I kind of like the Haggard bad guys in Warhammer 40k, like the Death Guard, and well, I play Death Guard and all of them. But in Warhammer Fantasy, I just like, yeah, I play Chaos a lot, but my favorite are the dwarves by far. Like dwarves and Empire, I love the thematics of the dwarves and the Empire. They're like so damn cool. In the book I'm reading, there's like this. Anyways, I'll tell you guys afterwards. I have so many anecdotes. But anyways, the forces of Romulan Dov are going to be advancing. So the Black Orcs taking a frontal charge, and it looks like the noble Bretonnian Knights are going to be hiding in the forest. So Romulan Dog, he's going to have his hands full, guys. He has to take down Kolek Suneater with 2 Grail Knights. That's it. So 2 Grail Knights literally have to like drag down a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth plus Kolek Suneater, which is going to be insanely difficult. So I'm really not sure how this is going to go, but I'm quite excited to see. In the meantime, the Goblin Great Shaman is literally running. The Pigeon Lady is going, and she's going to be casting the Arcane Unforging on him to make sure that he can't cast the wall. So the Goblin going with a missile attack right away. It looks like he's going to be blasting Alarielle with the spell, and is it going to go off? And here it goes, right in the face. Oh my god! That spell is insane! Look at the damage that got. Did you guys see that? So that literally chunked Alarielle to like 70%, which is insane. So the High Elves, I mean, they have Silver Helms, they have Spears, which is good. I mean, they're going to be doing most of the holding in place. But the Black Orcs are just going to mulch most of these forces. But the big thing I'm worried about are the Shaggoths with healing. That is going to be very tough to take down Kolek, plus another one with Earthblood healing them both. So yeah. I mean, yeah, arguably no one in 40k is like quote-unquote good. But we're going to see the Bretonnian Knights are lurking in wait. Both players are being very, very cautious here. The Black Orcs probably going to be scooting forward here in a moment. It looks like Lord of the Storm is going to be going down. And the Chaos Sorcerer actually overcasted and hurt himself. But he does not have Fate of Buna. So right there, you can see that Dov is able to dodge that. Silver Helms are going to be coming in for a charge. The Black Orcs, like I said, pretty durable here. So Dov is going to be countercharging, and honestly, this will probably be a bit of a wash as it pertains to damage. So Silver Helms coming in, getting a big juicy charge, and it looks really good, right? But then the Silver Helms take more damage on the return, actually. The Black Orcs are very, very stalwart, high-mass units. Countercharge coming out from the Bretonnian Grail Knights, but the Spirits are going to be following up, and the Big Daddy Shaggoths are getting in position. So right now, the Bretonnians here are going to be falling back from the Shaggoths, which is a smart choice. Black Orcs here are going to be kind of standing in reserve, just waiting to engage. And yeah, Black Orcs are going to be engaging Spearmen, which is going to be nice. Oh my god, Alarielle the Radiant is almost dead. That Goblin Great Shaman has been sniping Alarielle all day. So beautiful stuff. I'd love to see the Goblin Great Shaman do well, but he does get slapped with another Arcane Unforging, so it looks like literally a wizard duel, right? The Goblin Shaman and these guys are just having a haggard fight. A nice smoke bomb going down. Beautiful play there from Dov Plays. He's able to smoke bomb those guys and pin them in, so Dov is just on point right now. These Black Orcs doing a great job as well. And Silverhounds are getting dragged down. Alarielle the Pigeon Lady might be able to finish off the Goblin Great Shaman. Oh, he's so low. Is he going to survive? And he survives. He's wavering. Is he going to stabilize -1? And is he going to break? Oh, man, he's so close. And it looks like he does break. So Alarielle might be able to finish him off, but really nice regardless. Purple Sun going down. A beautiful Purple Sun coming down from the Warriors of Chaos, tearing through these Black Orcs, doing some substantial damage. But the Shaggoths are here now. Shaggoths are fighting Black Orcs here. Bretonnian Knights are kind of sitting in reserve, having a little bit of trouble finding a home because the Silver Helms and Spears are just kind of waiting for them. But the Black Orcs will win this grindy fight. I mean, the Spearmen are pretty much shattered off. The Goblin Great Shaman, unfortunately, is going to run off the battlefield, which is a tough loss right out of the gates. And the Shaggoths and Silver Helms are now going to be engaging. But this isn't bad. If the Black Orcs stay and fight here, they're immune to psychology, so they're at the very least going to stay and fight. Romulan Dog is going to be pulling back with those Grail Knights right now, and the Black Orcs are going to continue to fight, and they're winning like everywhere. I mean, yeah, I guess just let the Black Orcs grind things out, and then pull in the Grail Knights in the late game. Silver Helms are definitely taking some pretty heavy damage. Balance of Power is dead even, but there's like 3 healthy groups of Black Orcs here, and the Bretonnians have gotten a massive hammering charge right here on these Spearmen, and even though they're pretty good against these, right, they just get simply overwhelmed by those sheer numbers. So the Black Orcs are going to fan out now. The Shaggoths are really going to be the big name of the game. There is no missile play for either of these factions here. Bretonnians didn't bring any. The Black Orcs or the Greenskins didn't bring any. So it's really going to come down to the grindy, just Black Orcs fighting and the Knights getting good charges. So full health Reavers over here. It looks like some Silver Helms coming in as well. But the Bretonnian Lance formation, so the Knights Errants. Oh, and they're in the Lance formation, the Flying Mighty Ducks formation. Fey Enchantress is going to be charging in. Looks like we're going to have a big fight right here. And there's going to be some sort of a heal going down as well. Ooh, a Purple Sun. Purple Sun, won't you come? And the Purple Sun comes down, and there's some pretty good roasting there on the Black Orcs. Just kind of rotate through some of their own troops. The Fey Enchantress, not Fey Enchantress, but Alarielle is going to charge in as well. And it looks like the Bretonnians are going to meet with a countercharge here against these High Elves. So the High Elf Cav definitely going to get rode down by the Bretonnian Knights, especially with the Miss of the Lady going down. Oh man, those Reavers got punished. They just got straight up trash canned. Black Orcs are fighting here in a couple different scattered fights, but yeah, they're having a lot of staying power. These Black Orcs are not going quietly into the good night. And the Bretonnian Knights are just falling back and re-engaging, trying to find good engagements here on these massive ancient Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. So Spirit Leech is going to be going down on Grail Knights. Not as bad as like a Faded unit, but nonetheless, will do some pretty good damage. Grail Knights do, of course, have a decent magic resist, so they're going to be okay against that. Black Orcs piling in, and it looks like the Bretonnians are going to come in for the sweet countercharge, which is great because the Black Orcs are kind of holding them in place. The other charge of the Knights Errant's coming in, and the Fey Enchantress just playing very, very cautiously. Bretonnians from Team Romulan Dov are going to be pushing in, so the Grail Knights coming in, going to get a juicy charge into the back of these Chaos Casters over here, this Chaos Caster, but I don't know, yeah. This is a close fight. I mean, if the Grail Knights can do the heavy lifting and actually... Oh, look at that. They get a massive swarm here on this Chaos Sorcerer. So the Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death going to get dragged down by these Bretonnian Knights easily, right? And the Fey Enchantress is going to be intercepting these Silver Helms over here with another big old charge coming in from these Knight Errants who, you know, aren't the best against like enemy cap, but honestly, just with their sheer numbers, they should be able to overwhelm those Silver Helms, especially with the Fey Enchantress. So... Black Orcs fighting. Chaos Sorcerer is 100% cleaned up, but remember, the Pigeon Lady and the Shaggus are still here, which is going to be very, very tough to drag down. There's still some High Elf Spearmen. Now, the Black Orcs maybe could rotate over there and finish those guys off, but yeah, I don't know. Hard to say, guys. Hard to say. So, the Knights of Bretonnia are going to be charging in, Black Orcs are grinding, and now we just have this grind fest, right? Can the Grail Knights and the other heroic Knights of Bretonnia grind down the Shaggus? That's really going to be the name of the game. On top of that, Romulan Dog should definitely make sure to chase off that Death Sorcerer. I mean, Spirit Leechers over the course of this long battle could do pretty well. But the Black Orcs and the Knights of Bretonnia are just piling in. I love how simple this army is. They're just like, let's take the best unit, one of the best units on the Greenskin roster, and the best units on the Bretonnian roster, and just go fisticuffs. I love it. So anyways, the Black Orcs and the Knight Errants are going to be charging down against the team, Extreme Meme team here, and they are kind of getting poked a little bit. Oh no, and the Pigeon Lady actually lands and gets fully surrounded by Grail Knights and other elite troops. The Bretonnians popping Earthblood, and I think that Alariel, the Pigeon Lady, is going to get lanced down by the Knights of Bretonnia. She's fully surrounded, and Alariel is so damn low, she's going to go down. She must be at like 100 HP right now. The Shaggus rush in to rescue her. Are they going to be able to save her? It looks like she might be able to squeak out of here. Let's see what her HP is. 400, 521. The Grail Knights need to turn and focus down Alariel. Make sure to finish her off. That is huge. She's at 151 HP. The Chaos Sorcerer is also caught. And it looks like the Knights of Bretonnia are doing a beautiful job. Romulan Dog is just sticking on them. And the Fey Enchantress, or yeah, not the Fey Enchantress, the Alariel. Oh my god, look at the Pigeon's claws. The Great Eagle and Alariel, the Everqueen, get taken out by the Knights of Bretonnia. So the Greenskin and Bretonnian Alliance looks like they're grinding these guys down. Slowly, the Great Dragon Ogre Shaggots are being surrounded by nasty Skulkers. And, you know, you can see Black Orcs as well as the Fey Enchantress are able to chase off the Sorceress. And I think that somehow Team Romulan Dov are going to be taking this one. I mean, Kolek doesn't have any healing now. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is actually shaken. And if they're able to break this guy, the Bretonnian Knights can chase him off the battlefield no problem. Fey Enchantress getting a massive heal there on those Black Orcs and those Skulkers, which is going to generate massive value. And also the Grail Knights are going to be charging in against Kolek Suneater. So what a game. I mean, this is insane. I mean, the Pigeon Lady just getting lanced down. You just see the Eagle's claws just up in there like that. Fey Enchantress is probably going to charge in as well. If she can break the Shaggoth, I mean, his leadership isn't the best right now. It's at 38, and you can see the charge puts him down to 26. Kolek's obviously going to come in and try and snipe the Fey Enchantress, but as long as Romulan Dog is careful and keeps pulling back, should be in pretty good shape. So for anyone just joining, this is a 2v2 tournament. This is a small funds 2v2 tournament. So each player has 6,200 gold, equaling the sum of one army. So it's a really fun kind of technical 2v2 format, which I like quite a bit. So the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth here getting rode down by all of these forces. A massive, oh my god, that heal on the Black Orcs is so cost effective. I mean, those guys are so tanky and tough. Being able to heal them up is just a value train. So Team Romulan Dov, the forces of the Greenskins and the Bretonnians, look like they're going to be taking down the High Elves and the Warriors of Chaos, led by the Extreme Meme team. But remember, this is just game one. This is a best of 5. So if you guys are enjoying this, this was a sweet 9-minute battle. We have several more of these coming your way, so make sure to stick around, and this is going to be a party. So the Ancient Dragon Ogre is going to be fighting, and the Extreme Meme team is going to drop out and concede. Wow. Wow, I can't believe that. I mean, that gross tactics, but I mean, by both teams, essentially, right? Like, getting the healing on factions that normally don't have it is crazy. Like, look at Professor Pipe's army. It was literally 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths and a Deathcaster. And Philip was actually just like the meat and potatoes, right? With spears and silver helms and stuff. But that was a cool stuff. Romulan Dog brought the Cav. Dov brought the Black Orcs and the Goblin Great Shaman. And that was a game. That was a game. So let me let him know. Game 2. GG. That was a great game. Man, fun stuff. Fun stuff for sure. Like, watching these and casting makes me want to play in them so badly. I just want to play. I feel like the kid, you know, on the school ground who like has like a twisted ankle, so he can't go play at recess with his friends. That's how I feel when I watch these. All right, so Magnus, we got a 500. Wow, how much is that? The US dollars. So Magnus coming in with the fat, erect $50 donation from Grandfather Nurgle for New Year. Well, you're Nurgling here in the background. Thanks you sincerely for the very generous donation. And hopefully you're enjoying the action, man. been a blast for me. The boys eat well tonight. Oh my god. So it looks like we're gonna have Vampire Coast. Oh no, Vampire Coast and Tomb Kings again, the nastiness. And they're gonna be facing off against Norsca and Bretonia. So this will be easy. It's gonna be undead versus living people. So the boy must watch. So here's the reason there's 2 streams. I have no goddamn reason. I started my stream as unlisted on accident, and then I made it public. So I think when I made it public, it created a separate stream, which is stupid. I don't know how that happened. It's a bug on YouTube. But if you guys are in the Gotrek and Felix 2v2 team tournament series, you're in the right one. The army cost, so if you guys look here on the right-hand side, you can see that each player has 6,200 gold in total, which, if you add together, creates the sum of 1 multiplayer army. So it's really cool to complement the strengths of each army. Oh, the blood runs cold. We take our loot, but don't grow old. Imperium is the strongest in 40k? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Imperium's pretty damn strong, for sure, but some of the ancient Xenos cultures, I mean, Eldar, they're definitely stronger than Eldar. I don't know 40k lore that well. You'll have to ask Italian Spartacus or someone who actually knows, but I mean, I feel, yeah, the Imperium, I don't know, like Warhammer Fantasy, like when I read like the kind of the history of like Karl Franz uniting the Empire and holding back tides of like vile chaos, and like there's such a cool scene in this book I'm reading. Okay, hold on. Okay, Dov was just sending me their pics. There is such a cool scene in this book I'm reading. So the book I just finished reading is yeah, I'm tricking the system. Just need to get some water real quick, and then we'll chat. Yeah, and if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to hit the like button, preferably on the Gotrek and Felix stream, since that's the one I'm going to be publishing. But yeah, be right back, guys. Guess what, Key? I'm back. Worry. Don't you worry, little buddy. Yeah, Tyranids are pretty powerful for sure. Necrons are pretty insane though. Yeah, they're just not all awoken from their tomb worlds. But yeah, so right now in this matchup, we have a showdown between Vampire Coast and the Tomb Kings, which we saw earlier. It's very powerful. Invocation of Nehek having the ability to heal both armies is pretty damn strong. On top of that, we got Norsca and Bretonia. So Norsca is going to have to bring a lot of javelins, probably. But I mean, Norscan infantry are good against both Vampire Coast. If they just go super wide with like Marauders, and then have Bretonia do like the heavy cav, just riding things down, that could be good. Or even just spam a horde, right? And just get like peasant archers. Yeah. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think in Warhammer Fantasy, there's more clearly defined good guys. I mean, yes, like most of the races of good have like some negative attributes, right? So for the most part, you look at the dwarves objectively, right? Dwarves are an honorable people for the most part, from my perception of the couple books I've kind of read. They're honorable. They're forthright. They'll tell you the truth. You know, and if they tell you they're going to have your back, they will come back you up, especially if it's against like orcs or someone that they already hate. But the thing, like, you know, orcs are like, you know, they want trade agreements with they have trade agreements with the Empire. They're trying to like, you know, just do their own thing. They don't really go out of their way unless there's a grudge, right? But the thing about dwarfs that's kind of like dark is that, for example, if like an Empire Baron, for example, there's a instance in the story where like the Empire, like he like, you know, betrays a dwarf lord, right? So the dwarf lord then comes to the Empire guy's like castle and murders everyone, including the innocent. So I mean, they do kind of get blinded by the grudge aspect of their culture that can make them pretty ruthless. So I mean, but for the most part, dwarves are pretty like noble people. Like there's in the book I'm reading, The Grudge Bearer, or yeah, I believe it's called Grudge Bearer. It basically follows the story of the High King of Zufbar, King Barandon, who's really really cool. And in the final scene, there's this like awesome battle between so Barandon and Zufbar team up with Carrick Kadrin, and that him and Ungrim, their armies team up. Like they bring all their throngs out, and they make this like entire like battle line in this valley. And Vardic Crom, who is the Herald of Archaon, the Everchosen, leads a massive horde of marauders, and also assisted by the Chaos Dwarves to fight. So there's this huge rumble between Carrick Kadrin and Zufbar, facing off against the forces of Vardic Crom and the Dawizar, and it's a crazy battle. It's just freaking awesome. Slayers running down, like doing like backflips and karate chopping people's heads off, and you know, just hell cannons and just like chaos dwarf like immortals fighting against ironbreakers in this like grind, and it's just like, oh, this is so heavy metal. Like it's so cool. Yeah. Anyways, I want to make sure they're not waiting for me. But that is so good. That is such a good story. I think. Go read it. It's Grudge Bearer. If you want to learn about how badass dwarves are, it's called Grudge Bearer. It's like 210 pages. It's pretty short, and each chapter is like has a different type of grudge, right? So the first one is like, well, I don't want to spoil it, but the ending isn't really. It's a main lore, like the outcome is already known. It's like a very popular battle in lore and everything, but they have to fight Skaven. They have to fight the goblins, the Grobby. They have to fight the Thagaraki, which are the Skaven. It's so cool. Honestly, Sandra, I would read the Gotrek and Felix series, because it kind of gives you the perspective of the Empire, the dwarves, and they fight a very wide variety of enemies. I'm actually reading Gotrek and Felix right now. But honestly, if you just want a quick read that just kind of throws you in and like teaches you about the dwarf culture, God, it's so good. It's also so sad. Like I almost was like getting a little like you know, like someone cutting onions in here, when there's a couple passages like the dwarves are all like, you know, they're kind of a declining empire, right? Like they used to be like the most powerful empire in conjunction with the High Elves, but they're in decline, right? And their holds there's like fallen holds everywhere, and there's so many tragic tales of like holds falling to Skaven and orcs, and the dwarves just don't have the numbers, and it's just like, you know, they're just trying to relive their glory days, and it's really sad actually. But the dwarves also talk about like trying to make friends with the Empire, and like how sad it is that a man only lives like, you know, 50 years or whatever, 40 years, and like they live hundreds of years, and it's like it's really good. Jonathan, if you read the Grudge Bearer, the book, I believe it's by Gav Thorpe. I'll go get it after this game and show you the cover so you can see what it looks like. There is a massive Skaven story arc. So the Skaven essentially, oh my God, there's a scene where a Skaven assassin sneaks into the dwarf city, and like the dwarf king is like laying in his bed, and he wakes up and it's pitch black, and normally he has like torches everywhere, and all you see in the corner is like a dagger glowing with like green ichor coming off it. And he has to like fight the Skaven assassin butt-ass naked, like to the bitter end. It is a fucking gnarly scene. It is gnarly. Like, oh my God. Because dwarves are just like literally these like just human tanks. Like their arms are like this big. And he has to like fight this gnarly Skaven assassin who's like all bald and like bewildered with plague, and it's gnarly. Yeah. It's so much better than like, I mean, these books are goddamn good. Anna got me them for Christmas. Yeah. I would read you guys the book if you guys want it. You want to stream? I could even just do a video talking about it. Yeah, he literally uses his pillow to fight the assassin, because dwarf pillows are like filled with like sand and like sand and like oat, and like they're heavy, so he like throws it at the assassin and knocks him over. But yeah. But basically, then, you know, the dwarf city gets like attacked by the Skaven, and the Skaven had burrowed under the city without the dwarfs knowing, and it's like a massive horde of Skaven, and it's so cool. The depictions of Ironbreakers in the tunnels, just like shoulder to shoulder, like two of them, just like beating back Skaven hordes, while an Iron Drake with like a flamethrower is just roasting them. It's like the coolest thing on the planet. Anyways, okay, I gotta focus on this. Sorry, I get so excited. I love those books. They're so good. Okay, anyways. So here we are. Where were we again? We're in the finals. And here we are with the Dog Plays and Romulan Dog, who are going to be facing off against the Extreme Meme team. So in this match, Romulan Dog and Dog look to have the Undead Horde again. So they're going to be going with Noctilus. They have skeletons in the front line, zombies in the back, Black Spot, Halberds, a Mortar, and it looks like the other Lord is going to be Arc in the Black, Tomb Scorpion, Tomb Scorpion. This is a nasty army. Oh my gosh. And for the hordes of the Extreme Meme team, they got Marauders in the front line, they got Men-at-Arms, so a very chaffy-centric army. It looks like we're going to have a couple groups of Famir with great weapons, which is a great pick. The Holy Wardens, we got King Luin up in the skies. We have Throg, we have a Damsel with Heavens, a Firecaster, and some bows in the back. So really solid army here. I think it's going to be quite good, actually. So the Marauder Berserkers, or Marauders, I guess they technically are Berserkers, right? Marauders are going to be pushing forward. I mean, they pretty much have to, right? There's a mortar from the enemy force. And I actually feel like the Extreme Meme team has a really good answer here. I mean, the toughest thing for them to kill is going to be Count Noctilus, but Luin is a great answer. There's Famir. They also have fireballs back here. So the Shaman Sorcerer going downtown with the fireballs, and it's going to be hitting Count Noctilus right in the dome piece. And here we go, 7,400 HP, and it does about 700 damage. Definitely nothing to sneeze at. So very, very good stuff there. Oh, and look at that. Big Daddy Throg in the distance. You just see this looming troll head just bobbing in the distance. That is so cool. So Throg is going to come in. And there's not that much firepower. I mean, there's the Black Spot, there's Noctilus, but aside from that, it's mostly Tomb Scorpions, right? And the forces of the Extreme Meme team do have Famir with great weapons and a couple other answers against some of these large targets. But unfortunately, the Extreme Meme team has kind of abandoned their back line. Skeleton Horsemen Archers are going to be able to chase off those peasants, which really sucks. So, in the front line, Famir with great weapons and the Holy Wardens are going to be piling in. King Louis in the back is going to be going straight after Count Noctilus. And really, there isn't much with high mass back here to stop him. I mean, I think the Black Spot probably should start shooting at King Luin, who has popped the Lion Shield. And Throg is also going to be taking some very heavy fire. So Big Daddy Throg is going to be falling back a little bit. Raidstorm goes down on him as well, and things are getting pretty wild. So, in the back, sorry, I'm having a little bit of allergies right now. Anyways, the Peasant Bowmen are also going to be just getting rode down in the back. So Romulan Dog doing a very good job disrupting the back line. I mean, this sucks. These resources would have been so useful against Vampire Coast, but they're pretty much just getting canned. Maybe if Throg could kind of peel over here and protect these guys, that'd be really good. And a Burning Skull going down as well, right down the skeleton formation, which is going to open up the line for the Extreme Meme teams to kind of get into the back. King Louis, in the meantime, from Black Phillip and the Extreme Meme team did get a little bit of work done, but the Tomb Scorpions have fallen back. And yeah, they're going to be going fisticuffs, probably fighting these the Famir with great weapons. But the Famir are just getting gunned down by the Black Spot in the back line. So Dob plays with some very good Overwatch fire. And also he does have these Zombie Pirate Jetgun mobs with polearms who are going to be pushing forward and screening out. So honestly, I think that Romulan Dog and Dob plays are in a pretty commanding position simply because they let their backline get compromised so badly. So that one group of skeleton horsemen literally just got into the back line and like chased all these peasants. And these peasants could have probably killed the zombie pirate gunnery mobs by now. They could have killed this one. They could have put the Black Spot in a very, very dangerous position. So I think losing those guys early was just absolutely catastrophic. So Throg is kind of pulling back right now, which isn't a bad idea to kind of clean up the skeleton horsemen. He does have the frostbite, so he's able to kind of slow their roll a little bit. But these peasant archers were very heavily needed. And you definitely, I mean, even that's so much value. This one group of skeleton horsemen archers just doing a ton of work. So Famir with great weapons over here are going to be fighting Ushabtis. So Ushabti were actually summoned here from Romulan Dog. Tomb Scorpion here is getting spanked by the Famir with great weapons. Famir with great weapons hit so damn hard against large targets. But here comes that nasty Invocation of Nehek, which is going to be going down, healing up the Tomb Scorpion. But nonetheless, it's still taking a ton of damage. In the meantime, King Luin looks like he's going to be diving here onto the gunnery mobs, which I really think King Luin should probably be going after Noctilus or Arkin or maybe disrupting some of the guns. But he really doesn't have too many safe places to land because the Black Spot has anti-large. Tomb Scorpions actually are quite powerful in melee, so there's a lot of nasty things that could happen there. In the front, the Holy Wardens are doing a great job. They're still steady. They have 124 kills, and they're just chewing through these halberds like it's nobody's business. But the the Tomb Kings and the Undead are getting a pretty good surround on them, so very, very back and forth stuff. So if we take a big look at the battlefield, you can see there are peasant archers rallying throughout the battlefield. You have these peasant bowmen here in the distance. Throg is still trying to chase down these skeleton horsemen archers. So Romulan Dog is just doing so much work with those cav in the back. And I mean, Throg needs to be here. He needs to be killing Tomb Scorpions. He needs to be going after Noctilus. He can't be chasing skeleton horsemen archers around the map. I mean, that is going to be a catastrophic situation. Luin, in the meantime, of course, heals himself, so that's very, very good. But you can see here that the Vampire Coast getting another juicy Invocation of Nehek to heal up that Tomb Scorpion, which is so gross. So it heals up the Tomb Scorpion, but nonetheless, I mean, I still think the Extreme Meme team has the answers to deal with all this stuff, but I just think the execution of letting the Peasant Archers and some of their units get mowed down was probably what cost them, the game. So here you can see the Black Spot and the Tomb Scorpion are going to be shooting downtown, going after the Damsel with the Lure of Heavens. Definitely a good target. Count Noctilus sitting back here in a pretty comfortable Helm's Deep. And a very good Wind Blast going down, which does chew up the Black Spot, and Tomb Scorpion easily going to kill that Damsel, or at least terror route her off the battlefield. And Arc in the Black is like, hey, why do I need to go anywhere? We have a mortar, we have guns, let's just sit here and force them to advance. The Throg is now returning. He's going to be chasing down the Tomb Scorpion. The Extreme Meme team definitely on their back foot. Now, they still do have some good infantry. The Holy Wardens have done a great job. 190 kills. They've cleaned up several groups of chaff. Throg is coming in with the steel chair, and he clubs that Tomb Scorpion like it's nobody's business. And Lewin is still here. Lewin could come back in, maybe get some... I mean, go for that mortar in the back, maybe? I mean, he needs to get re-involved in the battle. He's been out for quite some time. So Professor Pipes and company are going to be pushing forward. The Norse Big Daddy Throg is going to be coming in here, and this is where he's going to shine. Just fighting against Tomb Scorpions, but look at that. The Shaman Sorcerer with fire actually gets taken out with Spirit Leech and some focus fire from Big Daddy Noxulus, and the gunfire is just pouring in here, just doing a ton of damage. So the Undead Alliance, definitely quite scary, but really I don't think it's because like Undead is like, I mean, yes, this energy is very strong, but I really think that Norska and Bretonnia, they had the answers to win this game. I think that had the Peasant Archers stayed online, had been protected, they would have killed these missile units. Lewin then would have had free range. There was a lot of variables that just went very, very south for them simply because of a couple misplays, I think. But, it happens. I make those same mistakes all the time. King Lewin is going to be going after Ark in the Black, getting some pretty good damage. Tomb Scorpion is going to be peeling off to kind of help deal with him. Other Tomb Scorpion coming in. Famir with Great Weapons also getting in here. And the Holy Wardens are still fighting. 214 kills on those bad boys is definitely no joke. And Big Daddy Count Noxulus is, this could actually be a game changer here. If Throg and company and these Famir could actually get us around on Noxulus, look at that. Very good halberd play. Daw plays, sees the threat coming. He screens him out with the halberds and does a very good job in that respect. King Lewin, in the meantime, does get hit with a Spirit Leech, but he also pops the Lion Shield, which mitigates it by 44%, which is very, very good. Orders in the back are still shooting. Peasant Bowmen, they've been AFK here for so long. These Peasant Archers could have done so much work. They need to get back online and get engaged. In the distance, there are some zombies coming back as well, which is going to be a little bit scary, but the bounce of power still, it's not over yet. Throg here is fighting to the bitter end. The Black Spot is shooting him literally in the back as he tries to get up, but Throg can lay a beating on Noxulus. He can easily win this fight. So if Big Daddy Nox gets dragged down by Throg, that could be... Oh, Lewin should come in for the Alpha Strike. They might be able to actually kill Noxulus if Lewin came in and started beating him right now. But it seems like Noxulus is continuing to knock over Throg here. So Famir with Great Weapons have piled in. The Tomb Scorpions are taking a bit of damage. Big Daddy Lewin is fighting, but the double Tomb Scorpion just coming in and giving him the good old stinger. But he's getting some pretty good damage. But yeah, at this point, he should probably fall back. He's at about 400 HP, being attacked by all three of these massive heroic units. And Noxulus, in the meantime, is going to be marching forward and blasting this guy into the Shadow Realm. So Throg is trying, but there's too many halberds. There is a Wind Blast alive, but with Lewin gone, I just don't see how they can come back. I think there was just too many misplays in the beginning where, a lot of their guys got chased off by Skeleton Horseman Archers. I mean, Romulan Dog did an insane job in the back line. Top Plays also did a good job protecting his lords from Lewin's dive and some of those other elements. And here you do have Throg is getting some beautiful attacks here on Noxulus and actually has enough mass to kind of push through the defenders, but they just don't have enough. Lewin might heal up a little bit, but he actually doesn't heal when he's broken, so it's not going to be enough. Famir here, Holy Warden's coming in, might be able to finish off the mortar. Throg might be able to potentially get Count Noxulus, but I really don't think so with the Tomb Scorpions hitting him, and Ark in the Black is probably around somewhere just cackling on his chariot. Where did he go? Ark in the Black is around here somewhere, isn't he? Yeah, there he is. He's coming back. So that's probably going to be game. So that's going to be Romulan Dov coming in with 2-0 so far. So if they win the next game after this one, that's going to be game blouses. That's going to be game blouses for sure. Yeah, not the Necrofex Colossus is not good in melee. So for anyone there who wants to say that, like Undead, yes, Undead are very strong in 2v2 with Invocation from Nehek, but I firmly believe that the other team had the tools to beat them. But there was just a couple very good plays with backline harass, and a couple misplays with chasing things too far with like Throg off the battlefield. But honestly, it happens. Like I do that all the time. I probably would have done the same thing. But in reality, it was a good game. Romulan Dog and Dov able to really secure. Tomb Scorpions were able to really give enough mass and protection with Ark in the Black. And they really kind of held their own. Professor Pipes' army was good. Famir with Great Weapons were a great choice. Marauders did a good job. The Holy Wardens were awesome. But look at this. Peasant Archers 0, 1, and 4. Those guys could have countered all of Dov's infantry and chaff. They could have killed the guns. They could have killed the mortar had they been protected and could have just paid massive dues and then focused down on Count Noxulus. So I really think that was the biggest deal there. So well played to both teams. That was great. So currently it's 2-0. Team Romulan Dov is up 2-0. And guys, there actually is... Basically, I was like, okay, if there's a certain amount of donations, I'm going to throw in a prize pool, and we've beaten the threshold. So now there's a $50 prize pool for the winning team. So currently, Romulan Dov is up 2-0, and the Extreme Meme team is on their back foot, but these guys are legends. They could definitely come back here, and here we are in Game 3. Game 3. Let's do it. So we're going to see the picks here. Dov looks like he might be going Empire. I know you get so yeah. There's accidentally 2 streams going for some godforsaken reason. I figured it's been a while since I've shared it. So anyone who's on the Christmas stream, I changed everything. and republished it, and that stream kept going. It's the same stream, you're seeing the same chat, the same video, but it's just like different titlings and everything. It's a YouTube bug, so just join the one that says Gotrek and Felix 2v2 stream. Yeah, that's the proper one. Yeah. 1.4 million words. Hey, I'll go get you guys the book. Oh yeah, Jason, because of you we passed it. Because of you. Simon Benjamin, thank you for the donation. Okay, hold on, let me go get the book so I can show you guys. While these guys pick here, yeah, and again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, I see there's, at least in the main stream, there's 1,166 people. Please make sure to drop a like. It means a lot and helps my channel quite a bit. So, if you're looking for books to start with, if you are a dwarf fan and you want to learn about dwarf culture, get this guy. This is Anna bought this for me on Christmas, and I've already read 2 of the stories. Like, I've read probably about 500-600 pages. Each story is about 210. But it's called The Masters of Stone and Steel. Wookie, what was that? Did Wookie just fall over back there? Yeah, I got to take Wookie back out to the living room. He looks like he's hungry. So this is it. This is The Masters of Stone and Steel. And the story in here, there's a couple stories. There's The Doom of Dragonback, which is it's a very tragic one. The Doom of Dragonback is about essentially the fall of a dwarven, ancestral honor. Grudgebearer by Gav Thorpe is my favorite that I've read so far. It has Grombrindle in it. It has Ungrim Ironfist. They're like side characters, but they're really cool. Yeah, one sec. Let me take Wookie out. Wookie. Come on, little buddy. Let's go. Come. I'm nurgling. Wookie says farewell. How was that? Sorry, guys. He waves farewell. Fred, thank you so much for the sponsor, man. Thank you for the month-to-month sponsorship there. So, yeah. So, The Masters of Stone and Steel. This book is amazing. If you are a dwarf fan, this is like the book. It's an omnibus essentially, or I guess a multi. It has like 4 books in it. It's balls deep, and oh god, it's so good. It's so good. So there's that guy, and then the other book that I've been recommended this by people like Lore Master of Sotek who actually know Warhammer Fantasy like the back of their hands. But this is the first Gotrek and Felix, and it has a couple of really good stories in it. So it has the first 3. I mean, Gotrek and Felix's stories, like there's a ton of books. This has Troll Slayer, Skaven Slayer, and Demon Slayer. And also a couple of minor stories, but yeah. So obviously, Demon Slayer, as you can infer, he's probably Gotrek and Felix are going to be fighting some demons. But put this on the bedstand over here. But yeah, Grudgebearer is like, I don't know why. It like pulled at my heartstrings. It's pretty good. Yeah. Start anytime. So in this matchup, it looks like we're gonna have the forces of Romulan Dog and Dov as the Skaven and Empire. So the Under Alliance, the Ver Man Tide, as someone in chat said, versus the Pre-War Vengeance Alliance. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. The book is mirrored. Skaven Slayer is such a good book. Yeah, I know. I'm really actually excited to see healing on dwarfs like Ironbreakers or Elite Infantry. That would be incredibly fun. I mean, but Dov is going to bring the meme. He's going to bring the meme for sure. Yeah, so essentially, I guess I could tell you guys more stories, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who's going to read it. But in the Grudgebearer book, you get to meet Ungrim Ironfist. Grombrindle appears like just an absolute beast and like just destroys the orcs a couple times. It's so cool. I don't know what the best place to get those books is, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine Black Library, but you could probably get them on like at I think my lovely wife got them at like Barnes and Noble. So you could probably order them online. Black Library, your local bookstore will probably. Gotrek and Felix is a pretty popular series, so it'll probably be at most general bookstores. Do the dwarves resist healing? That's a good question. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I bet you Dov is going to pull out the memes. I bet you we're going to see like a steam tank or something. God. Oh man, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. You guys are in for a treat. So currently, Romulan Dog and Dov, team Romulan Dov, is up 2-0 over the Extreme Meme team. So if they take this, it is a best of 5. So that's going to be it. 3-0 ends the series. Yeah. Yeah, I like Nurgle quite a bit in Warhammer 40k and even in fantasy, but in fantasy, like, I don't like the bad guys so much. I'm not a huge, I mean, in terms of lore, I prefer the good guys. Like, I prefer the dwarves and the Empire in Warhammer Fantasy. They're by far my favorite. So, but in 40k, I love, chaos and the deep space horror element of things. But in fantasy, I prefer to be on the side of the good guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good. I can't wait to read into those. But yeah, the King of Zufbar is really cool. That's what the Grudgebearer book takes place, the perspective of him and his son, and then it's really interesting because like a series of grudges, like they keep having to settle more and more grudges, and their stuff just gets more and more complicated. And then like they discover that there's a grudge that was done against like his father, so he's like, oh god, I have to deal with this now before I get to deal with that other grudge because they have to like be done in order. Some of them do, I guess. It's super trippy. Yeah, yeah, it's nuts. But man, the battle, one of my favorite scenes in the book is the battle between the Jawizar, the Chaos Dwarves. So basically, like, Vardic Crom, who's the Herald of Archaon, he's like his mouthpiece, kind of like his vanguard. Vardic Crom sends like thousands of screaming marauders who are like all like cut with marks of chaos and like gnarly, charging into a wall of slayers and like Ungrim's army, and they're just holding them back. But then the Chaos Dwarves come with all these huge cannons, and the King of Zufbar and his army are known for like being master engineers. So there's like a siege battle. Like the dwarf cannons are like just battling against like hell cannons and magma, like all these gnarly death shriek or something shriek. I don't know. There's some sort of gnarly death something catapults that the Dawizar have. But there's this really cool scene where the Dawizar are like marching, and they have these guys called the Immortals, which are basically like the Chaos Wars version of Ironbreakers. And then like the King of Zufbar like looks at his veteran Ironbreaker guy, and he like puts on his helmet, and the dwarf Ironbreakers just like march down the hill, and they just like collide, and it's like, oh, it's so epic. Yeah, it's so epic. Well, the dwarves live a long time too. Yeah, it kind of explains their grudge culture and like why it is. Like there are people who like like how different cultures have different like traits, right? Like some cultures are going to be a little bit more forthright. Some aren't. Like dwarves are just all about like you say you're going to do something, you do it. And if you don't, like, you're our enemy, right? Because they it's just how they roll. But they really just take it to the extreme. But there is a moment in the book though when there's like he has a grudge, and he actually kind of like is willing to bend and not fully like fulfill it because he like sees the wisdom in the other side. Like it happens a couple times where the dwarves like are willing to like be like, okay, well fine, like a couple times. Like they're not completely unreasonable. Like when they're grudging. Do it. Do it, please. All right, all players are ready. Like, there's a scene where the dwarves. Well, no, I can't spoil that. It's the first, yeah. But there's a scene where like the dwarf king is like sees the point of someone he is grudging against. He's like, that wasn't me. Like that was like, you know. And he's like, all right, you can live or whatever, you know. But like in the dwarves in times of peace are awesome. They're just like industrious. They're just building breweries and building gold mines and just like creating trade amongst themselves and nearby empires. Like they're very like helpful to have around. There are female dwarves, yeah. Oh, Malekith is the biggest. The first grudge in the Great Book of Grudges was against Chaos. But Malekith definitely has a fat grudge in there. I mean, Malekith grudged so hard that Snorri Whitebeard came back from the dead and became Grombrindal, and the Avenging White Dwarf. Like, that's how bad Malekith grudged the dwarves. He literally, like, oh man. What happens in the War of Vengeance is that, while they're setting up, but I'll get back to commentary, but in the War of Vengeance, like Malekith, like I said, Snorri Whitebeard dies, Malekith, him were best friends. Malekith was the emissary to the dwarves, and Snorri dies, right? Malekith then like has some gripe with the High Elves. Then he starts attacking dwarven cities and shit, and being like, oh, you know, it was the High Elves, whatever, right? So then the dwarves and the High Elves end up going to war, but it's like the dwarves are actually reasonable. Like the dwarves approach the High King of the High Elves, and they're like, hey, can you explain why elves are attacking our cities? Like you need to account for this. Like these are your elves attacking us. And then the High King of the Elves, who's just a total dickwad, is like. He basically just gives the dwarves a mouthful, and he grabs the dwarf. He basically takes the dwarven emissary, cuts off his beard, and sends him back as an insult to the dwarven king, who at that point, Gotrek Starbreaker, the High King of the dwarves at that time, was like trying to like figure it out with the elves, kind of that there was something weird going on. But the Elvish king was just such a dickwad that he caused the War of Vengeance, and then the dwarves just unleash hell, and they have this war that lasts like forever. That the dwarves won, by the way. Thank you very much. But it's like it basically decimates both empires, right? So it's kind of like a lose-lose in reality. Anyways, here we are in the grand finals. Romulan Dog and the Empire Dog plays. So yeah, we're going back to the Vermantide with Team Dov or Romulan Dov. Yeah, it's going to be a combination of Skaven slaves in the front line, so just chaff. The secondary line is going to be state troops and spearmen. We do have Lord Scroll, pretty much the better of the picks here. And it looks like we have Balthazar Gelt yet again, so pretty similar army compositions. On top of that, we got a Jade Wizard to provide some healing. And the dreaded Steam Tank. So Dov has brought the Steam Tank to 4, and this is going to be pretty problematic for the Dawi here, unless they have some cannons or something. But yeah, the rest of the army is Plague Claw Catapults, a couple artillery pieces. We got some Empire Knights, and in the back another Plague Claw Catapult, and a Doom Wheel on the far side. So some pretty good tools against the Dwarves and the High Elves. Artillery is pretty good against both of them. Yeah, that Steam Tank is going to be hard to catch. And for the Extreme Meme team, who are going to be bringing the War of Vengeance army, it looks like there's going to be Miners with Blasting Charges. We do have some Thunders. We also have a Rune Lord here, who has the Master Rune of Wrath and Rune and Negation. Dwarf Warriors. We also have a Noble in the back on a Chariot, which, yeah, Chariot's not bad against like Skaven and stuff. We have an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. We have Alariel the Radiant. We got a couple groups of Dragon Princes, actually, so going pretty elite. So the Dwarves looking to play a little bit defensively, but I think they're going to have to charge as soon as they see that there's 2 Plague Claw Catapults and a Steam Tank. Like, that Bolt Thrower cannot defend against that. So it's really, you could see they're like in a posture, right? They're waiting for the enemies, but in reality, they're going to have to advance, which is really going to kind of stress the micro of these players. So we're going to see how they do. Start when ready. Yeah. Yeah. You need the High Elves to win because you have half an hour left on your shift. But yeah, Dwarves and High Elves used to be like the most badass of allies. They used to just like stand shoulder to shoulder and just dumpster chaos back in their like glory days when like dwarf holds were everywhere and the dwarves were like super populous. And the High Elves like brought dragons, and like there's a scene where Snorri Whitebeard's like holding a shield wall with his dwarves, and then Malekith flies over on a dragon and is just like roasting chaos, and it's pretty badass to see them fighting side by side actually. Anyways, Norgrimling's Ironbreakers in the front, going to be taking some Plague Claw Catapult fire, which is definitely going to be very powerful against this elite Dwarven infantry. So a little bit unfortunate that he's going to take some losses on those guys because they are juicy. So the Dwarves and the High Elves are going to have to advance. I would say just doing a frontal advance on this part of the army because eventually you're going to have to get down there. But yeah, you got to just start here and just take those Dragon Princes, take those Thunders, gun down the Steam Tank, and that's really going to be what you have to do. For the Skaven and the Extreme, not the Extreme Meme team, but Romulan Dov, I really like their positioning. I think it's good to go spread out like this. It's going to make it very tough for the immobile dwarves to kind of get around and stop them in all fronts. But on top of that, there is high elf mobility. You can see the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is going to be scooting forward, but the meme tank is also firing downtown. And it looks like Professor Pipes is going to be taking the dwarves and hiding up and behind the hill, which is definitely a good choice to make sure that it doesn't take that fire. And you can see a lot of the fire actually is being dodged here, but man, they're just taking a pounding, which is very, very painful. Those are an expensive unit. So the Doom Wheel is probably going to come up the hill and intercept them, which again is going to be pretty strong. There is some Thunder or Overwatch fire in the back, but I'm surprised that they're not sending out their entire force, like sending out this main army up here to kind of intercept. But regardless, the Chariot for the High Elves is going to be going in here, but Skrulk's nearby, and he can easily get some Libra Bubonicus, but the High Elf Chariot does charge through in the rain, and I don't know where he's going to go from here. I mean, he did a little bit of damage, killed some Skaven slaves, but nothing to write home about. But an Earthblood going down in Orgrimling's Ironbreakers, which is pretty cool. Thunders are going to be turning about face to shoot at the Doom Wheel. And it makes me wonder, are they going to actually try and endure this? And like take this Plague Claw fire all day? I mean, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is a pretty good answer. It does kill Skaven artillery very fast. As a matter of fact, it's already killed one of the Plague Claw catapults. So it really makes me wonder, are they going to try and weather this? In the meantime, Black Phillip actually does have some guys hidden here. So he actually has the Dragon Prince is hiding here. He completely obliterates a group of those Skaven slaves with the miners. Their blasting charges flushing out the filthy Skaven. But you can see Skrulk with Romulan Dog and Dov Spears are going to be moving forward ever so slowly, maybe looking to take that frontal charge. We're not sure. And the Doom Wheel was also pushed back by the Thunder Overwatch fire as the Ironbreakers are going to be hiding here. But the Bolt Thrower, I mean, it might be enough to actually shut down that Plague Claw catapult, but still the Steam Tank is shooting in there, but I don't think so. Man, it's hard to say. I mean, there's still all three models here, but I think the meme tank is maybe shooting it too, which is going to be enough to maybe spell its doom. Dragon Prince is coming with a fat chubby charge up at the hill, just getting the freebies where they can, just killing Skaven slaves, which is fine. But it looks like Libra Bubonicus was popped on those Dragon Princes, which is going to be tough. And yeah, both players just both armies just giving it to one another. Miners have engaged the front line of the Spearmen. State troops are going to be moving up with some Empire Knights to... Oh no! This is so rough. If the meme team loses his Bolt Thrower, that's like one of their few answers here. And you can see that Dov does have a force in the forest. He has some Empire Knights coming out, and the Thunders are going to be repositioning to shoot down the Empire Knights, but they're not going to get there quick enough. But you can see Black Phillip is responding pretty quick with the Dragon Princes. Princes might be able to finish off these Empire Knights. If they can save this Bolt Thrower, that's going to be really nice. And it looks like Dov is going to kind of see the pressure coming in from the double Dragon Princes, and he's going to fall back. So the Skaven Plague Claw Catapult actually has lost all three of its artillery pieces. So that's pretty good for the forces of the High Elves and the Dwarves here. And you can also see the blasting charges are going to be throwing in on the Spearmen. But yeah, pretty even game so far. The Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower definitely needs to switch onto the far side Plague Claw Catapult or maybe start shooting at the meme tank because that thing's going to be tough. Dov, in the meantime, hiding his Jade Wizard and Balthazar Gelt here in the forest, being very, very conservative with them, not pushing them out at all to fight. And it looks like the Noble has been surrounded, actually. So the Noble's been surrounded by some Skaven. He's also taking some pebbles to the face. And Big Daddy Skrulk's kind of sitting nearby. The Dragon Princes are coming in for a hammering charge. Looks like the Empire Knights actually did take an engagement on the Dragon Princes, but man, they're going to get sandwiched hard. And it looks like there's going to be a big juicy heal going off, taking both those Dragon Princes up to a pretty healthy amount. Earthblood plus Star of Averlorn is so much healing, so that's pretty much going to top those guys off based on how many models they have. And it looks like Ilario the Radiant may be thinking about sneaking into the back line. Balthazar Gelt and the Steam Tank providing some good firepower right here, but the Dragon Prince is definitely forcing off the mobility. In the meantime, the Dawi forces are being pushed a little bit. You can see some of these dwarves here, these Thunders, have taken some pretty substantial damage, but the Dwarf Warriors are able to hold back those Clan Rats, and it looks like these Dwarf Warriors should be able to beat the Spearmen. It's a pretty good matchup for them. In the distance, the Plague Claw Catapult is still shooting at about half ammunition, and the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower is pretty much offline. I mean, it's wavering. It's probably going to buckle here in a moment with this pressure. And the Doom Wheel has actually come in here. So the Doom Wheel's chasing, the Spearmen are chasing, and it looks like these Dragon Princes are going to come in with a massive charge into the back of these Empire forces. The Man-Tide getting sandwiched pretty bad in this area, but nonetheless, it's a very, very even battle. So the Dawi and the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are falling back. They're going to be holding back the Skaven slaves, and these Ironbreakers are going to be very tough to kill with healing. That is going to be quite a challenge. So the Empire and Skaven forces here are being forced back. Thunder is getting some very healthy Overwatch fire into the Doom Wheel. You can see the Doom Wheel is going to be getting hammered pretty hard by those Thunders. Very, very good stuff. But the Pimp Daddy Gelt is coming out of the forest. He's got his Pimp Cane. He's on foot. He does have a final transmutation. And it looks like he's going to be casting it on the Dragon Princes here, which is going to be pretty strong. Oh man, he definitely does not want to run those guys into the blob. So right there you can see that Black Phillip is going to respond pretty quick, pulling those guys back and getting away from the main blob to make sure those guys don't get compromised. So the Thunder is still shooting in, trying to focus down the Doom Wheel, obviously, but let's see where the Doom Wheel is. Some Summon Rats from Romulan Dog and Skrulk doing a pretty good job. And it looks like the Rune Lord is going to be fighting the Rat King himself, but he does have the elite Ironbreakers kind of backing him up. So these Skaven slaves are not going to hold to the Ironbreakers. And blasting charges coming in as well from the back. But look at that. Those Ironbreakers turning around, chucking the blasting charges while they're also holding back this tide. Pretty badass. The Rune Lord's not really taking much, if any, damage at all. Dwarf Warriors are going to be rotating to protect the Thunders, but that Plague Claw Catapult Fire is proving to be really disgusting. I mean, it's doing a ton of damage against these Thunders. These guys are getting worn down, and he really needs to keep those guys in order to deal with the Doom Wheels and everything. Balthazar Gelt in the forest is being hunted down by Dragon Princes. The Steam Tank here is also fighting the Nobles here, and they might be able to kill Gelt, actually. If the Dragon Princes kind of collapse on that guy, perhaps it's gonna be possible. So I don't know, guys. It's a pretty damn close game. Balance of power is a little bit offset, but nonetheless, the dwarves are holding pretty proudly here in the front line. The Rune Lord doing well. Skrulk is healthy. Ironbreakers get the Master Rune negation, and yeah, they're just gonna be grinding all day and all night. These miners over here actually could go on a bit of a mission impossible here and finish that Plague Claw Catapult, but the Dwarf Thunders are getting shut down by the Skaven Slingers and the Summon Plague Monks. Master Rune and Wrath Rune being used on the summons, which is a little bit tough, but nonetheless, it might do some work. The Steam Tank's still alive. You can see the Jade Wizard is hunting down Alariel, and Balthazar Gelt coming in with his cane. So Alariel suddenly has to retreat, and the Dwarf Lord is in a bit of a pit fight himself. Balance of power is just really damn even. So really, I don't know if I have any predictions. I would say that maybe the Empire and the Skaven are in a little bit of an advantage simply because the Steam Tank is so healthy, Skrulk's healthy, and Alariel's getting a little bit beat up. And yeah, I don't know, these Dwarf Warriors are really going to have to grind this one out. They've just been in a wet noodle contest. I mean, Rune Lords are super tanky. They have 120 armor and magic resist, and Skrulk, of course, does do magic damage. So, Nice Star of Aberlorn's going to be going down here, healing up the Ironbreakers. So they literally have not lost a model in like a year. Those guys are at like 80 models. The Rune Lord is going to get healed up as well. The Noble charges in to break the Skaven and Empire troops, but the Doom Wheel's coming in now, which is going to be scary. Alariel, in the meantime, for Black Phillip, is kind of getting spanked on by this Jade Wizard, and she's a little bit trapped up here, which could probably cost him the game if Alariel does go down. Steam Tank is very healthy. Dragon Prince is coming in the back for Professor Pipes. Or Black Phillip, it looks like he's going to be trying to do a bit of a rear charge maneuver here, maybe buckle some of these forces. But if the Princess actually rode up and around and then rear charged the Plague Claw Catapult again, I mean, that thing was online for far too long. I mean, it's just doing so much work. So the High Alpha Noble is going to be charging in, trying to free up Alariel, but she's actually broken the Doom Wheel coming in and giving her the business. Noble does come in and actually intercept the Doom Wheel, so very good micro there by Black Phillip trying to save Alariel, but I think she's going to break off the map. And now it's really up to the Dwarves and the Ironbreakers. Can they endure? I don't think so, simply because the Doom Wheel and a Steam Tank is going to be almost impossible for them to kill. As far as the rest of the Dwarves, I mean, there's some Dwarf Warriors kind of fighting here to the bitter end. We have 30 here, we have 73 right here fighting, we have some miners fighting over here, but yeah, there's just not enough stopping power for that Steam Tank. The main tank just kind of pushing hard. Doom Wheel here is going to be chasing off the Noble off the battlefield, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. It looks like Team Romulan Dov are just on point today. The Vermantide doing just outstanding work. Just outstanding work. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, the rune on the summons, I said it wasn't. Like, it's a little bit off. I mean, it's good because it shuts down the backline pressure on the Thunders, but also it's not good because it was a summoned unit. So there is some give and take there. But yeah, the Rune Lord right here is going to keep fighting in the pits. He's a little bit surrounded, though. I mean, he does have his elite Ironbreakers, which are going to take like 45 minutes to kill, but the High Elves just don't have much. I mean, the High Elves, you know, of course, leave it to the Dwarves to have to do the heavy lifting here, but yeah, I mean, it looks like there's one last rune going off, a rune of Master Rune of Negation, kind of buffing up the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers and some of these other troops. But Balthazar Gelt's alive, the Jade Wizard's alive, Steam Tank can get healed, Doom Wheel can actually get healed as well. There are some Miners and Thunders coming back, but yeah, they're not going to be able to do enough damage to really shut that down. So, I mean, Ironbreakers are beastly, but they're only steady, guys. I mean, they have 148 kills, but I don't know, guys. It's looking pretty grim for the Extreme Meme team. They put up a great fight in all of these games, but alas, it looks like Team Romulan Dov is probably going to take this one. The Skaven and the Vermantide doing a pretty solid job. Steam Tank just memeing about. Dwarf Warriors can do next to nothing. And the one answer against it, which is the Thunders in the back, are being taken out by the Doom Wheel. So very, very good play here from Romulan and Dov. Just super coordinated in taking out these units here. The Ironbreakers are going to be charging through the firing frenzy. The Skaven here trying to shut down the Night Runner slings. Over here we have the Rune Lord still just kind of trapped by Skaven slaves and just fighting. Balthazar Gelt, of course, is going to be running, but yeah, there's no way to kill that Steam Tank. It's just too strong, and especially with the healing. I mean, I like that. Healing constructs, like healing a Doom Wheel plus a Steam Tank, is pretty nasty for sure. So, yeah, guys. I know. That might be it, but the Dwarves are holding strong. I mean, the Ironbreakers are going to be the last ones to go, and they were a pretty good pick here, but yeah, the Steam Tank plus the Doom Wheel against them is going to be too much. Ironbreakers are not meant for taking down such targets. They're meant for fighting in tunnels against like Skaven and light troops, really. So 86 melee defense is going to hold for quite some time. Rune Lord coming in with the steel chair, but they're going to get slapped with army losses here in a moment, I think, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. Yeah, summons are definitely pretty powerful, but really, I mean, I don't think anything pertaining to victory had to do with the summons. It really just had more so to do with the Plague Claw Catapults not being shut down. And the Thunder is getting compromised. Like, the artillery was very strong. And the Dwarves and the High Elves took a very defensive posture, and then they were kind of forced out, which made it a little bit awkward and disconjointed. So, yeah. And we have Romulan versus Dov to decide who the true commander is. No, this is a team tournament today. And that's going to be it. Looks like that's going to be army losses for the pre-war vengeance. So, yeah, Team Romulan Dov with a 3-0 victory there in the finals, which is absolute insanity. So they did it. The Doom tank, the Steam tank plus the Doom wheel being healed with Earthblood is pretty awesome. Yeah, Robert, that was all you. Robert in chat came up with the Vermantide. So he gets all the credit for that. All right. So that's it, guys. That's a 3-0. Let them turn on each other like Skaven. Yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today's tournament. The grand victory victors are going to be Romulan Dog and Dov Plays. But again, very well played to all of the different teams that played today. We had some valiant efforts across the board. It was quite a bit of fun. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the format. If you did, please make sure to leave a like before you go. If you're on your phone, your laptop, whatever, just click it. It helps me from a business perspective quite a bit and helps you get out there to new people. So if you want more people in the community, again, it's very good for that purpose. But that's going to be it for today, guys. That's a 3-0 victory. So Romulan Dog and Dog Plays are going to be winning the $50 prize. And you guys want to see this format next week? I think what we'll do in the middle of this week, if I can remember, I'm getting a little bit up there in the years, so a little bit long in the tooth, but I'll make a poll this week, seeing what format you guys want to see for the Flash tournament. Maybe that'll be a weekly thing where you guys can vote on that. So it'll either be a traditional 1v1 Flash tournament, 2v2. Maybe we could work with Sotek to do like a tabletop thing. I don't know. We'll come up with some sort of an idea. But yeah, great play. Great play. This was a really fun format. I really like that quite a bit. Dov did a great job. And Romulan, I mean, they were a great team today. I mean, everyone played well together, but alas, they were the champions and did an outstanding job. Yeah, well done. And guys, make sure a lot of the individuals playing in the tournament today do have channels. I know that Romulan streams on Twitch occasionally. I know Dog Plays, of course, has a YouTube channel. Please make sure to check him out if you haven't. Professor Pipes on Twitch. Black Phillip, I'm not sure if he streams, but if he does, I'll find out. Of course, we have Exploding Hamster and a couple other gentlemen before who do have channels. Let me go ahead and make sure I didn't miss any of those. And we got, yeah, so Flying Taco has a, I don't know if Flying Taco does, but yeah, Exploding Hamster and Zardar Total War, of course. Exploding Hamster has his German channel, and Zardar Total War does campaigns and multiplayer. So I'll have links to all of their channels. Anyone who plays in my tournaments, it's the shout out and stuff. So yeah, I'll figure it out. Dov did get paid today. He did a great job. And that's pretty much going to be it. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm really sorry about the double stream. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but hopefully the proper stream will actually render and work. And it'll be there. But again, thank you guys so much for joining. Stay tuned for the poll midweek to vote on what the format is going to be for next weekend. Maybe more 2v2. If you guys really enjoyed it, maybe we do a couple weeks of this and see how it goes. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is it. So thank you guys so much for joining. Hopefully you guys all have an excellent new year. Go out, be safe, have fun. And we'll see you guys after the New Year's. We'll see you in 2019. It's going to be a good time. All right, guys. Cheers.